Hola. How do you say that?
Hola?
Mi ama.
I don't know. I don't know Spanish.
I think it's hola, mi ama, Amy. Couldn't find him anyway. I went into the chat where we met, or did we meet there? I don't know. Where I started talking to him and stuff in this certain chat. She was live. She was doing like a book review or I don't know, something. I didn't pay that much attention to be honest. And was looking down through there to see if his name was there, and it wasn't because I was just gonna say, hey, if you got free time later and I'm still on here, come by. But he's probably busy, like working. Usually, just like he does on here, he swings through if he has time. But he might be listening later. I don't know. Hey, Corey, if you come by, if we're talking about a bunch of bullshit and you're like, I'm not going in on that, just know you're thought of and well loved in here very much. Hey, Kylie. So glad you're here. For real. Yeah, I couldn't think of what to put, Tashi. I was like, make a wish on a starfish. And the kids were like, that don't sound good. Then I said, the road to hell is paved with shells. And they were like, So I went with this. I don't even know what I put. Bubbling up to the surface for a few. What's up, rapper? You're at work? Okay, cool. I'll know you're listening. I always believe you're here in spirit or listening at work, but it's good to actually see you here. I love you, girl. You know that. I'm glad that we all found each other in that live that we were in. Definitely. Haven't seen you in a while, rapper, so it's good to see you. So we got rapper, Kylie, Toshi. Please don't. Toshi. Oh my God, MK. Damn it. MK for real broke me. And I watched one of his lives last night and I was laughing so fucking hard, y'all. Like, I've never, ever, ever watched one of his lives. And it was very interesting, I have to say. Go MK. Yeah. Did y'all? I think you saw it, Tashi. See, I did it right, Tashi. God, he messed me up with the whole Toshi stuff. I know. Well, I've never even seen your name say, did you change it? Or do you have two of them? Because I was like, I don't see the little four-leaf clover or the little shamrock thingy. And I saw the, I'm trying to see. I don't think I can see what it is. Something yellow. Which my eyes are bad, so who knows? I don't even have my glasses on. What is the little yellow thingy? Girl, I'm trying. I got my eyes all the way up to the screen and I can't tell. But again, I can't see well, so who knows? And I put glasses on, it makes it worse. Truly. For years, it helped, but nope. Okay. See, I don't know why. They always are purple on my, when I put in a like horoscope sign or whatever, a astrology sign, it always shows up purple. So I've never seen it. It kind of looks like a member. Like if you were a member here, it's like this little yellow, like a little sunshine or something. It's kind of cool. I looked at it, was like, dang, it looks like a membership thing. I don't know. It's cute. I think Rapper Mind just cruised through and was like, what's up? Bye. Because we only got two in here now. I told my oldest I'm risking it. I don't care if they can hear the music in the background. I'm just like, whatever, it's not. I hope y'all can hear me. Oh, is it purple? It's yellow here. Like a bright yellow sunshine, so you can barely see the white. But it really, if you're just glancing at the screen, it looks like, damn, okay, she's got a wrench. It looks like she's got a membership. I don't know why. It looks like a membership sign. Aw, thank you, rapper. You're so sweet. You've always been so nice in almost every chat I've been in. I haven't seen you, cause any issues or anything. You've always been sweet. And I go to Dazed a lot, and I know Dazed is always thinking about you. And like on Wednesday night, she always mentions you. So all those people over there love you, I know. So you're welcome over here anytime. I know you make the rounds, but I'm glad you came by. Oh, you need to answer their question though. I answered it for you. Sorry. Because who knows where else you been? Have you been in trouble or you been still good? I've seen good, but have you been kicking up fuss anywhere else? I hear some people have, not you, but some other folks. Yeah, rapper. I've heard that you did an interview, and I haven't gone back and watched it. If it's still there with Lainey, I think. Um, and then you came up on, I want to say Rose's panel one time, but a long time ago. Probably couldn't figure out which one that is, but I know Lainey's. She had guest interview. Probably could find it easier there, but I've never seen you. You will soon. Okay, yeah, I would love that because I truly, unless I have to go like search it down, I have never seen you, so it'd be a reveal for me. Um, but you seem like a sweetheart. That and it doesn't, for whatever reason, something has happened to me in my last few years, whereas I'm not as like it. It truly just doesn't even. I don't know. I used to be a very shallow person, I guess you could say, and hence why I'm like trying to find some rock stars and hook up with them. But now it's kind of like if you're just a kind and nice person, like nothing else really matters. So you're definitely safe in this space because it just trust me on that. If you're still here. Aw, I love Louisiana. Y'all know that's where my castle is at. If you have looked on my page or you run back and look at this later, rapper, I don't think you're still here. But if you are, check out on my community post, my dream castle. It's for sale. It's out of my price range, but I've been there so many times and walked around it, dreamed about it. It's usually always for sale too when I go there. And it recently there was a flood, and so they're like having to do some things to it. But it's so pretty. And my daughter found some inside pictures of it. I didn't post all of that because I didn't know if anybody really cared about the inside. But oh my God, I'm sure it's costing a lot to repair it, but I would so live there like right now. If someone said, you got to leave now, you got one bag, fill it up and leave, grab the kids and leave. No problem. They're game. I'm game. All of us. Irish Bayou is where it's at, right before you start to go over the bridge to New Orleans, NOLA, whatever you want to call it. And it is basically all a little fishing village with boats and stuff. And that's like the only home there. And it's just, I don't know who built it. I don't know whose idea it was, but I saw it going over the bridge first time ever to New Orleans on my senior trip, like graduation. We didn't realize when we got there that you could drink, and we were like, woohoo, bonus. We just thought we were going to a fun, cool place. Everyone else was going to the beach. And we were like, screw that. We want to be different. So we went there, me and just like a couple of friends. And we had so much fun. I literally cried coming home, but I remember seeing the castle on my way and just, oh my God, I love this. And on the leaving, I love it. And then every time I've gone back, just daydreaming about it or pulling over and being like, I want to walk around. 100 trespassing signs. And I'm like, I can't go to jail in New Orleans for going into a castle, Just can't risk it. Aw. You're so sweet, rapper. You really are sweet. See, yeah, Kylie, you saw the castle. Yeah, do you still love Katie, rapper? She's kind of like a mom to me. Is she nice to you? I would imagine, unless. Yeah, he's the sweetheart. Um, But have you seen it, Rapper? I don't know where in Louisiana you're at, but have you seen the castle? Look on my, like I said, when you get a chance, just look on the community post, and it's in the Irish. It's called Irish Bayou, and it's before you go over that bridge. You love it? Okay. Everyone sees that castle. Like, I'm guessing it costs so much. It's got to be like a historical landmark. If not, you could definitely, when you buy it, make it one because it's just there. You saw it. Oh, you saw Katie earlier. Okay, cool. But yeah. Oh, you love Katie. I thought you were saying you love the castle, and I was like, okay, you know what I'm talking about. But you probably have seen it. Just depends on where you're at in Louisiana. You might not be in New Orleans. And if the castle wasn't there and I wasn't already in love with it, I would say pretty much anywhere in Louisiana I would love to move. If I'm going to move somewhere, I was thinking Florida or Louisiana to stay in the South. But Florida is crazy lately. Like it's getting overpopulated. And a lot of like stars, Hollywood stars, are moving from California for whatever reason to Florida. And so it's expensive, very expensive to live there. Not even just the touristy places, but pretty much everywhere. Um, and I wouldn't have to live right on the beach, but somewhere near. I don't know. I've thought about it a lot, and I think I would probably be happier because my first plan, my whole life plan, was to be in New Orleans anyway. So even if it's not New Orleans, it was to be in Louisiana. So it got derailed by Hurricane Katrina, as did my wedding, as did everything. I'll tell that story at some other point. Which, let me just say this: only there's a few of you, but somebody will play it back. Hopefully, my music's not too loud, but I am thinking of, not even thinking, I am going to. I hope y'all can hear me. Let me turn up my thingy just in case. Okay. I'm going to do a video. I sent a message to Katie and I went way, and when I type in a response to y'all know I go into freaking paragraphs. Yeah, a lot of music is there, Tashi. So much of my favorite music is in Texas or Louisiana. And my daughter has a friend in Texas. And I know Texas is huge. And I've always wanted to go there. And I've been to the border of Arkansas and Texas, right there, like Texarkana, they call it. But I didn't go like all the way in. I would love to. Like, that's one of my bucket list places to go. It's so far from here. But see, that would get me halfway anyway. But I know some people that live in, it's called Natchitoches, but it's spelled Nachito. It's got your name in it, kind of, Toshi. It's spelled so weird. You would never know it's pronounced Natchitoches, but they're using like a, what's it called? Like a Native American name. It looks like Natchitoches or something like that, but it's Natchitoches. I had to learn, but it's the whole reason I know about it, not because of going and exploring there, as most of my other places, but like it's because of a band. Oh, and I found a band too I need to ask you about. I screenshotted it, so I'll have to hunt for it, but I was going to send it to you, Tashi. It's a cover band that is like well known in Australia, and I listened to them for a minute and was like, dang, I know I want to live in that castle. Those pictures, Kylie, God, the sunset pictures and stuff. See, I've never stopped during that time of day. It's just been kind of like hot, steamy, because it rains there almost every single afternoon, and then it's hot. So you literally see steam coming up off the sidewalks. And it's a party city. So if that's what you want, good. But they also have like a little divide. And then the other side is a lot of art, music, the aquarium, the river. So it's kind of, you can do this over here or do this over here. And then they have great colleges, but, a big one, LSU, but then they have some small ones, around that I honestly wouldn't mind my oldest, well, either one of them going to, and I don't think they would mind. They don't care. They want to. We all have an attitude of anywhere but here. Literally, we're tired of being stuck in this little whatever haystack town where there's nothing. They just closed the skating rink, so the only thing the kids had to do here is now closed. Um, so it's really sad. There's like, and I'm not joking, y'all. There's a bowling alley and this little place where you can have birthday parties that has like the little go kart track and stuff, but it stays open till like dark, and that's it. Once it's dark, our kids in this town can go bowling or do bad things. Guess which one they pick. So when you're out in the middle of the country, there's no wonder that crime rates, drug rates, whatever, are so high because these kids, where are they supposed to go hang out? They're going to go to house parties or whatever. And just, it makes 100% sense. Like, I was shocked. That place has been open since before I was born, like early 70s, like way, way before I was born. So, and now it's not even we're turning it over to a new manager. Like, they specifically said we are closing and we will not be reopening. Like, I don't know what the hell happened there. I know a lot of fights and stuff have happened, so they could have gotten sued. Don't know, but they're closed, and that is, I mean, that was the only like gathering place. We have a shitty mall that has like 2 stores on. They're only waiting. People that own it are waiting for the lease to run out, and then I guess they're going to try to sell it to, like, I've heard, a church and have like a big mega church, which I would not doubt, which is fine. Y'all go have a great time there, but please have something for kids there. Like, if you're going to have the church, have like a youth center where there's stuff to do, because it's only going to make things worse in this city. I can go ahead and tell you, for like preteen and teen kids to have nowhere to go. When I was growing up, we had a movie theater. It has been leveled. We had a mall. It is barely open. There's a yogurt shop, Bath and Body, another restaurant, and Belk, which is kind of like a Macy's or something like that. No other stores. Zero. You walk down through there. There's a lot of old people that like to go there and mall walk, and they just make laps around the mall and whatever, but it's just dark and sad. There's even a movie about it. Somebody made like a little quick black and white movie about it, and they're asking people, which I say it's black and white. My daughter said it's not, whatever. There's a little movie about it, and they interview people about how it used to be. Like, there used to be a fountain in the middle of it. People would come up and do concerts and stuff. Like, it was the bomb when I was little. And then, like I said, we had a movie theater, skating rink, all of that. So my kids are jealous when I'm telling them stories about me growing up, because there's nothing here now. Anything that was here, like that skating rink, we were holding on to it with dear life, and it's gone. So it's so sad. But I want to go to that castle so bad. Your house was the party house. See, mine was kind of too, until, well, it still was the party house. Mine was because my dad had the whole theory, if you're going to drink, do it at home. Don't get in a car, whatever. So he would buy alcohol. Back then, like, me and my daughter had a whole conversation about people's attitudes back then versus now. And back then, it wasn't like a huge deal. When we turned 18, my dad would go get alcohol. We would all stay at the house and party, have a good time. They would normally be going out of town. So I didn't drive. I stayed there as long as we had a place to crash, whatever. We just had fun. And then when I moved and was in my house where I met Grampy Wade and had all the real fun, that was also always like, we might as well put a neon sign and said party house, because that's what it was. That's truly, when I wasn't at work, school, or wherever, like, that was the party house. So yep, that's exactly mine, Tashi. Okay, cool, Kylie. I just saw about your earbuds. That's fine. I like knowing that y'all are here, even if I just have a few of you guys. That's what I was telling my daughter. This is just going to be kind of, I don't want to get like too where I'm sitting up, like crouched up trying to read it, and then I end up like hurting all over from like being live when I'm done. I'm so exhausted because usually it's like 9 hours. And even though I don't have to lean up and read it, I'm still doing it, I need to get like a magnifying thing to put over the screen like I used to do for my patients in the nursing home. It's so sad, but because I don't want to wear the glasses. I know in a couple of hours, like my eyes would adjust and be better, but I don't want to give them that adjustment time. I don't know. I'm in a weird mood today. I mean, I cried. I think it was yesterday. I cried for a long fucking time. And oh yeah, I was gonna go into that in a minute. Yep. And I mean, I've always said that about my house. It's just like both of mine are doing virtual school right now. So there's not a lot of people around here that they can meet. And like I said, some of the kids, not even some, a lot of the kids are really bad because they don't have anything to do. And our town isn't making that any better. Literally, the places they're opening are like breweries, micro breweries, and fucking like boutiques. And we have a Starbucks being built. Why? Please tell me why do we, poor, super poor town that I live in, need a Starbucks? We already have a little, like, kind of little coffee shop. This is definitely going to wipe them out. But like, we do not need a Starbucks. There's no one here that can afford that every day that I know of anyway. But y'all go on with your bad selves. I won't be partaking in it. I'm not a big coffee person anyway, but even like a smoothie or tea or anything there, jeez, no. Just not talking, even thinking about the past. I think in order for people to truly understand me, if they want to, and some people don't, they just want to come over here and have a good time, and that's fine. But the few people that I talk to outside of here, if they can handle it, and a lot of people cannot, I get it. Well, I don't get it, but I try to get it. I feel like I need to do a video if I'm going to be on here that explains like who I am. And I'm going to have to put trigger warning all around, even if I don't go into any details, and put, we're going into the deep end. Put your water wings on. Like, it ain't for the lot of heart. And maybe people, I'm not saying like that they would treat me different or anything, but maybe they would understand me a little bit more. Some people know kind of the bare bones of basics of what all has happened. I mean, literally like the last 7-8 years of my life has been like where the majority of it happened. But just, I don't know. I'm trying to write a book, record a book anyway, and have been for a while. I promised my sister I would. And if I'm going to do it, it's basically just giving you guys a sneak peek of, the book. Only the book's going to have all the little details that I'm definitely leaving out because no one needs to know all of that. But maybe they do need to see why I do have, trust issues. Why I do have abandonment issues. Why I have a lot of the issues that I do have that at this point, I just want to fucking lay it out there and be like, okay, this is me. This is, I don't care, because I'm not one of these people that's so wrapped up in like doxing and showing my face and all that stuff. Like, I should care a lot more, but I don't. Like, I don't. Like, at this point, what can you ruin in my life? I'm hovering over my daughters like a mama bird, and other than that, you can't hurt me. You can't. I've been hurt so much. I challenge you honestly to fucking hurt me beyond what I already have been. And when you hear the story, you'll know. If, like I said, if you can handle it, that's why I'm putting trigger warnings, even up for the people who've been so good to me and kind. Like, I totally get it if somebody doesn't want to watch it, if it would put them in a bad place. But if they wanted to, curious minds, whatever, like, they could see and be like, oh, that's why she's emotional, or that's why she's this way or that way. Um, and it'll make sense. And I feel like I need to do it. And I can just be like, hey, y'all are getting a sneak peek of the book. um, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing that as a video. I was going to do it as a live. And then I was like, no, because I wanted it to be where people could ask questions. But I feel like the questions might get too deep. And one time, I promise I'm not going to say his name the whole time because I watched it back. I never watched back. This last time I watched it back to listen to some of my singing and see all of the problems we have connecting and whatnot. And I realized I said Dave's name like 87 times. So I'm not going to do that. He's not here. I don't know if he'll be here. Doesn't matter at this point. Um, if he wants to be, he will be. Um, he always said that when people go live, they want to have fun. They're escaping. They're, want to get together and have a good time. And I get that. But a video, I think you can choose to watch it or choose not to. So that's why I'm just going to put trigger warnings everywhere. And a lot of people will be like, oh my God, that's a terrible idea. You're telling people personal, but I don't care. I don't care. Like, no one would want to come here. No one would want to come here. If I lived about an hour away, maybe, woohoo. But where I'm at, nope. Nobody. Good luck. Just fucking no. So I'm not worried about that. And I feel like some people need to know something about, okay, well, that's why she's being bitchy today or standoffish, or she's being like so sweet, but she sounds like she's been crying, or damn, she got trust issues, or like whatever. Like, it explains a lot about me. So I don't know. I'm going to do that sometime in the next few days. And I don't know. I don't really have any like new news. I've been kind of, like I said, for whatever reason, I don't even know what triggered me. I can't remember. It was something about my brother-in-law, and me and him were really close. And so I just started like missing him a lot. And I see so many guys that look like him because he's just, he looks like a lot of guys around here. He was just a good old boy, like worked hard, loved his wife and kid, just tall, thin, baseball cap, camo pants, just, country boy. And he was from West Virginia and then came down here, gone for my sister, for the love of her. But otherwise, like, I mean, he was country up there just as much as here, and, had about the same amount of shit to do up there as we do here. Like, we're in a place where there's nothing to do. So there is a high crime rate and a high drug rate, but not because we're this big, bustling city. It's because these kids have nothing to do. These young adults, 20 somethings, have nothing to do. So that's all, everyone's getting into that, or, leaving, trying to get the hell out of here. And that was my plan. My wedding had already been paid for and was in New Orleans. And I was going into an apartment after that. Boom, right there in New Orleans. And it all got covered up with water and had to be completely revamped. I'll try to skim through that. That's going to be a very skimmed through part of my story, because even though it affected me, it's not what really gave me that final sucker punch to mine and my children's life. So anyway, it's sad. You would think that would be a huge thing, but not so much. But yeah, I should live in that castle 100%. I belong in that castle. Someone who's good with construction and stuff, or has a lot of money and wants to fix it up or whatever, I would go live in that castle so quick. I would take care of it. I would be what is it called? Like groundskeeper or whatever. I'd figure out a way to be like, yes, I'll take care of your castle while you're not around. If you're going to make it a museum or a historical place, I'll keep it taken care of. Hey, it's got 2 bedrooms in it, but it's so huge, you could definitely make a third. I think Kylie was mentioning that. It would be really easy. Hang on. Do it as a video. Yep. Hey, Christy. Welcome. And Stiggy, hey. Yes, thank you, Kylie. Hit the like. And I'm just rambling. Like I don't know what to talk about, guys. Whatever y'all want to talk about. If one of y'all wants to come up, I don't think I even put the link, but I will put the link. Um, I've just got music in the background, and I told the kids at this point. I might have said this already. Like I don't even care if it gets dinged. It gets dinged for whatever. And I did put up a couple of songs. I don't know if Katie's went to sleep already. I sent her a message. She hasn't read it, so I don't know. But I don't know if she saw the wrong song because she commented a bunch under one song, but it wasn't the one that I sang for her. Did you see it, Katie? Here you go. Hey. Rapper may not be here anymore, but he was talking really sweet about you, Katie. And did you see the song that I was talking about that I put for Katie? Okay. I was like, she commented a bunch of the other song, but you didn't on that song. So I was like, there's no way. Katie, if she saw that one, like I had to sing over poor Jackson Brown, but I could not find that song with a karaoke version. And my daughter said as long as it's a lyric version, not on his main page, that I was cool singing over or with him. So I went with it. Oh, cool, Stiggy. See, I promised my sister, but I've typed so much in my life and written so much that, like, my hands, I know there's so much, it's going to be a lot. So I got just an old tape recorder. Um, like my grandmother had one. It literally is like the old RCA with the little handle, and it literally, I think it might record and play. That's it, cassette tapes. So I have that, and I I have a bunch of stuff just randomly in my message thing on my phone notes section or whatever, and some journals. And I've got to just kind of put it together and make it make sense, or either just push record and just let it all out. Um, I don't know, but I promised her I would. When everything started happening, she was not the last to pass away, but next to last. And she said, I want someone to have a book or a movie or something, anything to turn to when things like this happen. And I've talked to therapists, I've looked, and there is no one who's been through this exact situation. Like it is that weird, that strange, that horrible. And I want someone to know, like, you're not alone. This did happen. I'm, made it through at least a little while. She didn't know at the time she wasn't going to be around anymore. But I did promise her, and I want to try to keep that promise. When I promised her, she had just lost her husband. So I was staying with her and sleeping in the bed with her because she was having to learn how to not have him right there beside her. And like me and my kids just picked up and moved to her house for a couple of weeks and helped her through that. Um, so I don't feel like that's a promise I can really break, And also, I don't know, I may push record on the tape recorder while I do it on here as well, because I just want to get it all out, and I can talk about it without crying. Mine is more I see something, and like I said, my daughter saw a guy that looked just like her Uncle Sean, and it was you like the deep end, Christy? Cool. I'm glad, Siggy, the Starbucks thing. I do not care about it. Like I'm not a coffee drinker. I like tea, but not for that much. I mean, like I said, we're a very, very poor little town. It is really sad that they're picking like I don't know. I'm hoping if they're going to make a Starbucks, why not give us the little movie theater? We had four. It was called Cobb Movies 4. And it had four like they would have like a horror movie, a kids movie, like a drama, comedy or something, and then like an action movie. So you knew you were going to one of the four. And then, like I said, we had the mall. The big deal when I was growing up was the mall, and don't go behind the mall. Going back there is bad. Well, that's exactly where I went. The minute I walked in and got my $20 from my mom and dad, I would go get some Chick-fil-A or something, buy a pair of earrings. I don't know. fuck around inside the mall, and then I'd be like, oh, going straight to the back and let's find the bad boys and the bad, what's going on back there. Got into a fight, like the only real fight other than my sister that I've ever been in. And her name was Jocelyn. I'll never forget that name. And she had red hair and freckles. And we were fighting over a boy who I wasn't even dating and didn't even end up with. So got into a fist fight with someone for no reason. At the end of the day, no reason. At the time, it seemed super important. Little skater dude named Matt. Not my type. Apparently, then I kind of had thrown my top to the side, and he had the little skater cut, blonde hair, whatever. Which I don't know. Back then, I must have not unconsciously. What is it? Subconsciously liked blonde hair dudes because that's what I ended up with. But now, oh look, there's Rapper. Okay. I mean, that's good, Katie. I'm sure the reason why that's bad, but I'm glad you're going to be super safe. Thank you, Stiggy. You were the only person, but I always look, and your comments always make me feel so much better. So I want to say, like, right as I was going to record the second one, you had commented on the first one, and it made me feel really good. Yeah, we got to make sure our Katie is taken care of. She's such a sweetheart. I can't imagine anybody wanting to mess with her. Well, people take advantage of good people, sadly, sometimes. I don't even know what I was saying, but bad back of the mall, hitting the girl. Yeah, me and her got into like a fist to the face fight. It was kind of stupid, and it didn't really. I don't know. It was a stupid reason. It wasn't even that exciting of a fight. But yeah, me and Jocelyn threw down over this Matt guy. And like I said, oddly enough, I'm looking back and I'm like, okay, this dude you dated was hot. Okay. He had dark hair, tall, football player. Gotcha. Go to this one. I'm like, skater boy, blonde hair. What the fuck? Then I go to my my ex-husband, very happily ex. Blonde hair, blue eyes. So apparently I had like small little breakdowns where I totally forgot that I like dark hair, preferably taller. And that's just a type that I've always kind of had. I guess it goes along with kind of the whole rock and roll thing, but some of my rock and roll dudes had blonde hair. So I don't know. I guess I was all over the place, but I was a very shallow person, a very visual person. And my youngest daughter, actually was the one to just straight up look at me and say, Mom, you're very shallow. And it didn't hurt my feelings because I needed to hear that. And since then, I've met people on here, especially, that they just have an avatar. I don't know what they look like, but they end up being some of the sweetest and kindest people in the world. So not knowing has actually been a really good thing for me. I don't need to know. I'm one of those people. I don't care if you know, and I'll just lay it all out there. But that's just me. I don't expect that from anyone else. And I've met some good people who I have no clue what you look like, and it does not matter to me. And I could not have said that honestly 20 years ago. It was shitty. I was a shitty person, but I can say it being honest now. Yeah, Rapper, we need you to come guard Katie. Damn, they got arrested. Good, at least they got arrested, but that's sad. 80-year-old. Thank you, Katie. I love you too, unconditionally. Even though I've seen you, it doesn't matter. Even if I would have never seen you, I can feel, like, I don't know, some people I can like feel an emotion, like even through a freaking computer screen. And when you hear, or if you can stand to hear my story, it'll make 100% sense. Oh, he lives right there. Well, can they not make a restraining? Yes, Stiggy, your comments are always very encouraging. So I love also that you don't just, some people can sum up things like in a couple of words, and I love that. But I'm a very wordy person, as Tashi and Katie and Kylie, some of you guys have learned to know. If I come on there to tell you like one sentence, I end up typing out a novel, and y'all are like, Jesus is going to take me a whole bunch of time to read. Now I'm going to be awake after trying to read this. But yeah. Oh, he threw phone? He threw his phone? That's so stupid. Yep, Stiggy does lift people up. Yeah, Rapper, we need you as our bouncer. Yeah, I don't know if Katie can do that, but hey, if you can move to the castle, I'll move in with you. Yep. Oh, I would too, Katie. You go, girl. I can tell. If you need to be a badass, you can turn that on. Otherwise, you can be a sweetheart. Or you are a sweetheart. People just don't need to push. Like, people take the most kind people and the most giving people or whatever and just push and push and push. And you have to see, you have to bring that badass out. And I hate that. I hate that people like get off on that. People love it. I don't understand. Yeah, all of you guys, I don't know where Tashi went. I'm guessing she's listening in because I was like, I don't even know what time it is where Tashi's at. But if I'm going to talk to you guys, I probably need to jump on while I'm still like in a decent mood. I ate dinner, which I usually don't even eat. I put my food, it's sad, but I put my food in a drawer right here beside me. And then I wait, and I don't know. Sometimes I eat it. Sometimes I eat it the next day, or not like out of the drawer. I'll tell the kids, come get it and put it in the fridge. Like, I don't eat like I should. I don't sleep like I should. None of that. So I have gotten a lot of sleep, and I have decided I can't stay on here for that long. Like 9 hours is not healthy for me. It's not good for me. Yeah, Rapper. It's they feel like we're the weaker sex and they can come after us because we're single women living by ourselves and like, oh, I can overpower them or do something even worse. I don't want to go into that, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's horrible that they do that, but more women usually get stalked for bad reasons. There are guys that get stalked all the time because women are like, oh, he's hot, I'm gonna stalk him, whatever. Like, they're more like fans versus stalkers. They sometimes take it a little too far, but they're not being completely crazy aggressive like this is what we're talking about, I'm guessing. Oh, you're talking about Katie. Katie, you always give me a big response. I'm glad. I'm just saying, with me, like my teachers, even at work, the more it's weird, really weird, but it's true. The more you type or put in a chart, the more they can pick it apart and see. Like, if you go into the whole picked up patient with Hoyer lift and moved to bath chair, took a bath at 9 a.m. Blah blah blah. Patient fell, and the more you go into it, the more, if they come in like once a year, people come in and go through everything and they pick it apart. So if you make it like really brief, 9 a.m., Hoyer lift, bathroom, if you like literally make it that short, then there's less that they can pick out and kind of like give you a tag for. They come in once, maybe twice a year, and everything has to be tip top, or they can literally close the doors and chain them up, and no one can come in, no one can leave. You are closed for business. It's a private nursing home chain of nursing homes. And so they have people come in and do chart reviews. And their reviews are on a laptop now. Thank God you don't have to go through the paper charts. Um, but that's what I do is I go through what they've written, make it shorter. There's medical codes that have to be put on there properly for billing, like so they can bill Medicare, Medicaid, all of that stuff. And so that's sounds like a really boring job. Well, it kind of is, to be honest, but I've done it from the ground part up. And yeah, Christy, I'm glad you're here. Um, anyway, I was that person, on running up and down the halls for years. 107 beds, one nursing home, 114 beds, the other nursing home. So every person that came in was following them from beginning to end, whether they were there for a short time or a long time. And a lot of those people became like family. So it was hard to leave them. And a lot of them didn't have family. So even my little girl, when she was learning to read, she would come to work if I had to work on the weekend on Saturday, like a weekend manager, we would kind of take turns. Then I would bring her with me and she would go around so she wouldn't be like, right, bothering me or whatever for my work. And she would read to especially the little old ladies, and they were loving every second of it because there's this beautiful little 5, 6 year old girl, and she's just learned to read this book and she wants to read it to them, and she loved some of them, and it filled a hole in her heart because we didn't have the grandmothers and the great grandmothers and all that stuff that we would have really needed. I had them at work, but the kids didn't. So it was cool for her to have that. It wasn't cool, later down the road when that person passed or whatever, and they were sad because they had lost Miss so and so that they had read to. But it was a good experience for her, and it lit up those ladies' lives. Like when the kids would come trick or treating from outside in, like there's so many positive things of me being there hands on. But for years, just doing all that, like so many days, I packed up my stuff, had it ready to walk, get home to my babies, and I would get stopped, question asked. I would put down all my stuff, and I would end up staying another 6 hours. I couldn't leave when a family walked in and they had a problem or a patient needed something as I was leaving. And I was that person who wasn't, sorry, clocked out already, I'll have to talk to you tomorrow. I was that person that was like, hold on, Mr. So-and-so, let me put my stuff down and let's see what we can do. So I gave a lot of extra time that, I missed out on a lot of my kids' little stuff because, I was at work all the time. Oh, okay, Christy, you probably saw me in Amanda Ray's. I think that's her name. Um, I love her lives on Sunday night. Oh, we'll get you there, Katie. I'll put it on my Facebook. But yeah, I'm so glad you came by. Okay, Tashi just put the link, Christy, for you. There you go. Cool. Now you only need 3, Katie. We'll get you there. Like if Corey comes by, if I don't think he knew that you have a channel, we'll get him to sub you up. I don't know if Rapper probably already is. Damn it, my cigarette went off. Y'all, I'm a mess tonight, but I'm here. Messy here. And I don't even remember what I was talking about, but yeah, that, whatever I just said, all of that. Like, it's sad. When I get on a roll, I don't even know. There you go. 3. So you only need 1. Cool. I love how y'all help each other. Is that the one, Christy, I'm talking about? Because I do skip around to a lot of them. Was it Amanda Ray? Because I went by Sunday night. I know she's very proud. She hasn't missed a Sunday night in like 100 and something Sundays now. And she was trying, like she was about to have to miss one, and she was like, no. I've been doing so good. I'm not. No worries, Katie. Just come when you can. And even when you're not here, I'm telling you, you can look back and see I always am like, hey, or Katie, sorry. Hey, Kylie, I'm still acting like you're here, even if you're not. And when I'm saying, goodbye to everybody, I always say your name because I never know. Some people, maybe listening and not like watching. But bye, Kylie. Just listen in when you can. And I love you, girl. I checked on you the other day. I was given a challenge to, instead of always wait for people to contact me because of the way I was raised, it was like you don't seek out people, especially guys. You don't call guys, you don't whatever. So I kind of took that as to just cover all, and I never like really reached out. I just waited for someone to reach out to me. And that's not being a good friend. And I know that it's just been hard for me to retrain myself to be the one to reach out. So this last few days, I have made it a point for like the 3 people I'm closest to, and they're on here, to reach out to them and just say, something like Katie, I've reached out to her, dedicated a song to her last night. And, you know, I talked to Tashi the other day. I was like, hey, what's up? Just, it was something short. And she's like, yep, you passed the test. Because she knows I struggle with that. And Kylie, I check in, with her from time to time. Mine's more or less just like, we're thinking of you. We feel like you're here, even when you're not. Hope things are going good, kind of stuff. And Kylie's like me. When she responds with a long, with response. She's like me, a woman of many words. Yeah, Tasha, you would have been so proud. You cried, Katie. I didn't want to make you cry, but I love that song. And I don't know why you came to my mind, and I couldn't find a karaoke version. And I was like, well, if my kid is saying there's no problem singing with it, as long as it's a lyric channel and not his channel, then I'm going to give it a shot. If it gets taken, it gets taken, but I want her to see it beforehand. You're hungry for cake. Me too. I bet Katie could make us an awesome cake. Oh, wait, Stiggy was eating cake. I missed that part. Yeah, it wasn't so bad, Tashi. For my whole life, I think it was, if they don't respond, that's rejection. And I have a hard time with rejection. And sometimes it's just like, oh, I was doing whatever, or I was asleep, I had an emergency, my phone wasn't plugged in, like whatever. There's a legitimate, no big deal excuse. And here I am over there taking it so deeply to heart, like, oh my God, they hate me, or I said something wrong to them, or I don't know, whatever. But I have to really like make myself, and it's getting easier, but only really with people that I'm close to. It's still hard if I had to reach out to someone else. Like it's going to take time. Same, Katie. I hope it was completely from the heart, sincere. I don't know why, but as I was typing or getting, hey, Mark, what's up? I saw you were having a rough time earlier in your comments. You were going to be going live, but you had a rough time. So I'm sorry, whatever's going on. But yeah, Katie, I usually cry when I hear that song. But when we were looking it up and we were typing in the thing, I said, wait, can you go back and put like in parentheses or something just for Katie? And I said, with a C. So my daughter typed it in. And so when I sang it, I already knew we were going to put it for you. And Sticky, I think, put underneath it, perfect song for Katie. So definitely, I hope it was happy tears, that someone does care that much. But I mean, I think we both have that void, and it's something that'll never be truly filled, but we can help each other in some way. And I don't know, I just felt like everything I said, everything I sang, I felt it. And probably each one of y'all at some point, I'll associate some type of song with you and dedicate it to you. But that one was just like really heavy on my heart. So yeah, I think we are. I don't know. Like the 3 of you guys, it wasn't as hard as I thought at all to check in with y'all. And I think I missed a day, I think, with Tashi. And so she was like, when are you going live, Bish? So I was thinking I'll go live tonight. I just don't have much going on. Yeah, if you want to, Mark, that would be great. I'll do the same for you later if you're going live later. I know, like I said, I read your little thing earlier, and of course, people put shitty comments underneath there. I don't know who they are, don't care, but I just saw like you were having a hard time. Rapper is really good in here, Mark. I don't, he's been really, really sweet to us in here. Um, so we're Rapper fans. He takes care of us, and hey, welcome as long as he wants to stay and protect us and be a sweetheart. I've been lucky to only see really the good side of Rapper, and the other side, when I have been in other people's chats and seen something, I know that it's, just like fun and games kind of, let's see how far we can push it. And I think Rapper and other people know, like, hey, she's already delicate, and the fact that she's on here live is kind of a miracle. And I can get on here and sing forever. I could sing in front of a stadium of people, but the conversation part, this part, I either ramble or I'm just quiet. There's like no in between with me. So yeah, I've Rapper, like I said, he loves all the ladies in here, and so far so good, protective, and I don't think, even if he was trying to have fun, I don't think he would push it because he knows I would be like, oh my god, I would take it to heart too much. Yeah, he's funny. Like, these ladies, if he did, if he did, they would be easily able to just be like, now Rapper, and he would stop. I don't see him doing it. I don't want him to. No challenge, Rapper, but um he's just been a sweetheart. Yeah, he's a funny troll. And I mean, no, never mind. Not gonna say the name because I'm telling you, I never ever ever watch back. And I don't know why. I guess because we had, like I said, so many glitches with songs. I wanted to hear what all that mess sounded like at the beginning. So I was gonna go to sleep, and I just was playing it back, and I was like, oh my god, can you say his name anymore? Please, you sound completely stupid. So I'm trying hard, y'all, to um, not that I don't have any problem with him. I just need to not. I don't know where he's at. I know a lot of people always see me like in their chats. I was in a chat this morning and somebody asked me, and I was like, I don't know. He might be going to Mark's chat later. Single man out on the prowl. He's a troll too, or used to be. I don't know if he still is. I'm glad, Katie. I feel blessed to know y'all. Is that a link, Katie? Like, it's something showing up that kind of looks like a link, but maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad that my paths crossed with all you guys. Very, very glad. And you too, Mark. I don't know you that well. I know you like to sing, and you're from the same state as I am. So there's two things we have in common. And you're a shark. So you're in the water, just like me, a mermaid. Because I thought about putting something in a title one time about a shark, and then I was like, there's already a dude with that. Oh, to the song. Okay. But yeah, Mark the shark. I'm in the shark infested waters right now with Mark. Hey, Kraken. I've been reading your comments, and I do honestly, I'm being totally honest. I have to take the time. I screenshot it so I wouldn't miss it for whatever reason. When I was on Rose's live, where you were trying to send me those, the band name and the links, I screenshot it, and then you sent it again. Thank you. So I can check it out. I just haven't I've been a slacker and haven't taken the time, sorry, to do that. But you've always been so it's I love reading your comments too. I was telling Steve earlier, yours are very like poetic, and I don't know, when I get through reading them, I'm like, damn. And I know you said you're a writer, you're a professor, so you know exactly how to word things, but you definitely have a great way of being complimentary, and also, you kind of know some of the music, same music I like, and have suggestions from other countries. I think that's cool. Um, so yeah, you and Stiggy give me the longer feedback on my stuff. And then I think even you, yeah, you looked at the castle too. I think you thought I was kidding, but that's a real castle. I've been talking about it a minute ago. Us all moving in it. And honestly, it's small as far as like square footage and everything, but the entranceway, like when you enter into it through that little tunnel looking thing, like you would have to see the inside pictures. You definitely could make other rooms off to the side of that. It wouldn't just have to be those two bedrooms. So we should totally all pool our money together and get it. I know, right, Kraken? I've been there and I've walked all around it, but I was just terrified to break the rules and go in it anyway. Um, but it's been for sale a couple of times that I've been by, and then I saw it was for sale again because a flood had come through. I looked at the listing price and it's at 500,000. Oh, cool. I have a castle, like a little castle. I don't know what you call it. It's made out of like the resin stuff that is from Germany, I think. And I would have to get it down and try to read the name of it, but it's like a famous old castle. And dude I used to work with, like he and I hung out a lot. Like we were both single, but it wasn't dating. Like we never like had any kind of nothing like that. But like he would go home and be like, you know, cooking for one. I had my apartment, same. So we would go out, like go out. We would drive to the big city and we would go have like a nice dinner and go like to the record store or whatever and get like CDs and or go to the movies, whatever. Like he was like my date, but we weren't dating. Um, and he had to go away. He was in the National Guard, so he ended up getting called. He was military police, so he had to go to Germany for like 6 months or something. So when he would call work to just check in and be like, "Hey, what's going on? I'm going to be here longer, whatever," he would always ask for me. So everybody would make a big deal about it. Oh, he's asking for you. He only cares about you. Blah blah. But he brought me back a castle, and this is one of the sweetest things, honestly, that anybody's ever said or done to me. Um, but like I said, whole time, nothing but just friends or whatever. And he came to my, or no, I went to his apartment for some reason to watch a movie or something. And I was like, just had seen him for the first time again. And he's like, I brought you back some gifts. And he's like, you can unwrap the other ones later, but there's one I want to give you. And so he handed me the little statue. And it was of this place that I can't pronounce, but it's up here. Like, I still have it. And he hugged me. First time I ever even hugged him. So everybody that was accusing me of this, that, and the other, nope, just friends. And was just like, I missed you. And I saw this. He said, I, of course, was all around and in the castle because of where I was stationed. But you are literally the only girl I know that is still around that believes in fairy tales. And so I wanted to give you this castle. And like, I wanted to cry because that's like a movie moment. That's like shit that never happens in my real life. But it did happen. And um, it was really cool. Yeah, historical castle. This one's very well known. I wish I could think of the name of it. I'm trying to understand, Katie. Yeah, you're never alone as long as you're with us. But yeah, I guess I kind of get what you're saying, unless you're talking about your crazy stalker dude. Did you know him, by the way? I just was wondering. But Oh yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Castle Kraken. You probably know where it is or what I'm talking about because it is famous, and they do still do tours and stuff. And I don't know if he never really explained. He said I've been in it and all around it, and it's beautiful, but I don't know if he was in it just as like, well, while I'm stationed here, I'm checking it out, or like he had to go in it due to his duties. I don't know, but I just thought that was cool. He brought me back. He knew I like the Doors, and so oddly enough, the Doors incense. So I still have it. I haven't ever used it. I have a picture of all my Doors stuff because he knew. Like I have, he didn't get me this, but I have an American flag with Jim Morrison on it, like the big fold out American flag. Um, I have like the box set with all the like best CDs and stuff from theirs that I really wanted, but it was always so expensive. So I waited, and the record store in our mall, when it closed, everything was like half off. So I was like, oh, I can afford to buy that. And so I got it. So I took a picture because me and another lady were going to do a collaboration and talk about this whole theory of um, because I am into, I know Christy mentioned like she met me on a polygamy page. I'm very interested in cults just because of, like I said, the way I was raised. And I really am interested in Charles Manson. My kid loves Marilyn Manson, but I'm interested in Charles Manson. So, and that's actually where I met some other people on here. But I don't even know where I was going with that, y'all. My mind, Jesus. Castle, how did that get transitioned into Charles Manson? Don't know. Y'all help me with my brain. I don't even know. But anyway, I thought that was the sweetest thing, like, because he knows, or that dude knew. I haven't talked to him since I left that job either. It's been a bazillion years ago. That was before I got married. So, 20, I don't even know. Like, almost 20 years. Yeah, almost 20 years ago. But he was a nice dude. Um, and he, like I said, he said that one thing, and oh, we got all the door stuff. Oh, I got it. I put it all out and did a picture of all my Doors memorabilia and stuff. And I wrote up this thing, this whole like, did he or did he not cross paths with, no, party with, whatever, Charles Manson, Jim Morrison. And there are interviews, there are things I've found where that answer is yes. But there's a lot of people who come back with no, they didn't. Like, your argument's weak, Amy, like whatever. But I never ended up doing the collaboration with her. She kind of went to Patreon only. So I can't just turn her on and she's there anymore. Um, and then she does a book club, but there's no way I'm going to be like reading a book, and not like I used to anyway. So I don't think I would really be the best person to be in that group. But before that, we were going to do a collaboration, and she's done a few things that I really like. She did one about Demery being Lane Staley's muse. She was doing this thing about women that were the muse of songs, and I really thought that was cool that she did that one. And I suggested another one that I would like for her to do, but a lot of people were like, yes, yes, do it. But I don't know if she will or not. But yeah, I already had it all topped out and ready, so I may use it on here and show the pictures where I already had gotten all my stuff out, took pictures, so I wouldn't have to drag it all back out again. But yeah, that's something I was going to kind of do later, like do a Doors section. I still feel really bad that the Nirvana thing is kind of left hanging, but I don't know. A part of me, I feel like I need someone to help me through that and get us to the conspiracy part and let y'all look at the crime scenes and kind of decide for yourself, what side are you on? You know, was it not, was it for one of these guys but not the other? Were they entangled in some way? Like the whole thing. But I've got to wrap up the very end of the Kurt thing in order to make that make sense, I guess. And it's the I don't know. It's the when you get on here, not just ramble, Amy, because there's only a couple of y'all watching anymore. But actually come on here with a topic, or either come on here and sing, because people like to hear you sing, whether it's like for funny or whatever. Um, but I did want to, keep my promise and come on here. Um, so you don't know the creepy guy. Let me see. Oh yeah, if he took some pictures, fuck that. Yeah, I am gonna finish it, Kraken. Like I said, I'm gonna probably have to get my daughter, or if Dave decides he does want to show up, if he's not busy or whatever. He was a big help in, the whole, like, this is the one I think that would wrap it up. Like, I'll do the stop thing for you. Because he's watched it all ahead of time. So, um, and I've watched the conspiracy part of it, but I haven't studied Kurt's death scene as deeply as I wanted to. And I kind of was going to do that with you guys. I wasn't even going to do it beforehand. But that other part, just the cap end where we were, I want to finish that off. And then I was going to just link both of the guys' memorials. So if you wanted to watch it, you could, because a lot of stars performed at their memorials. But that's way too much, like, difficult for me to watch those. Um, so I just was going to put those in a link so you could watch those yourself if you wanted to. And there's a really good documentary on Chris Cornell. And it's only about 30, 40 minutes long. And it's got like everything you need to know. And it's called like Tragedy in Room 1123 or something like that. It's on my community page somewhere if you scroll way back. But I'm going to link it when I do this. But I want to kind of end that and then do the conspiracy thing and then move on to, something else, because we've been on grunge for a while. And then when I got to 200, I think I've just been rambling, singing, whatever, because I just haven't felt in the same, like, I don't know, headspace or whatever. But I'm going to crack. And I know you're like me, you love music and you're a music connoisseur. Um, so, and I hope, Katie, that you get, yeah, he definitely took things up a level. I'm glad you have some people on your side and that you have family and things like that to take care of it. See, I do too, Katie. I've seen some beautiful pictures of him lately on Facebook. I try to not save them. I try to, what's it called? Share them, repost them when I see a good one. Um, but that, I highly recommend that documentary, because if you don't want to watch the long, drawn out stuff about him, which I've watched a lot of stuff about him. I honestly have watched a lot more about him than I have Kurt. Just I was a bigger fan, honestly. I mean, fan of both super talented and intelligent guys, but I don't know why I was always drawn more to Chris's music. I wasn't as much into Chester, but he seemed like a great guy, and seeing them together, like, they were so happy that they found each other, that they were both really struggling. Their families, like the kids got along, the wives got along. Like, it was just, when you saw them, like I saw them on a vacation, all of them together, and they just seemed so happy. And I think in a way it was kind of like I found my little brother, and he has the same struggles. And, we're going to, we've made it now and we have extra money. So we're going to, do this. And they got involved with the Sound of Freedom. They got, involved with a project that they felt passionate about, which may or may not have been what caused a lot of things. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know as much about his music, just being honest. I haven't listened to a lot of Linkin Park. So, oh, he did an Adele cover. Girl, I did an Adele song. I'm So Embarrassed is out there, and I have it. I have it cut out, front clipped from somebody's page, and I listened to it the other day, and I was gonna, like, I was putting some clipped songs from other channels that I had performed on, and I was putting them on here, and I remember practicing that song so hard, and thought I did such a good job. And then now listening to it, I wanted to crawl under a blanket and just hide. And I'm like, no one's listening. Like, it's over. That was months ago. But yeah, I did not do a good job. And then I still haven't done my homework. If Corey listens back, you've told me to listen to the Nothing Compares to You by Chris Cornell. And I've still yet to do it. I've started it and I always just something happens. Like, I don't know why, if I'm not meant to hear it or whatever. I know you told me that he owned it, that it was awesome. I just hated the original. I don't know why, but I trust you. You are also a music connoisseur. I've just got to make myself do it. There's a lot of stuff I'm like, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And that's why I sometimes like need someone to balance me out and be like, hey, quit just rambling on about stuff that makes no sense. Oh, we did Rolling in the Deep. That's cool. See, I don't even know what it's called. Her most famous one, the whole Fire to the Rain song. I don't even know if that may be the title of it. Fire to the Rain. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I have no idea what you would call it otherwise, but see, the church that I went to growing up was all a cappella. They did not believe in having music, or they didn't believe in having musical instruments in the church. No piano, none of that. Sing, you only make music with your heart, is what they would say. Make music with your heart. If you read like the Bible, they took it quite literally and almost like you lived by the Old Testament instead of the New. So yeah, no musical instruments to back us up. It was just all a cappella. So I'll have to check that out. And it was Chester that did it. Sounds like, yeah, it, like I told, if you scroll way back on my lives, I did a live, and I think maybe one or two people popped in during it, if that. This is when I was on here, like talking to myself about stuff. And I did like about an hour and a half about kind of different religious views. And I went kind of deep into my childhood, like the way I was raised in the church type of environment, and how now looking back, I realize my family had the best intentions, but it was essentially a cult. Um, and some strange things, some things that are definitely not normal. And also, I don't think Christy's here anymore, but I met her on a page where I've kind of been like pushing the people in the comments, like, hey, why don't you cover this church? Because I don't know if it's Amanda, then no, but if it's another page, hang on, who sings? You sing in the shower. I bet you can, Kraken, because you can definitely write. If nothing else, you could definitely be a songwriter. I wish I could play an instrument. I would love to. I can kind of play some like baby, like a 2-year-old piano player, a couple of little keys, and same with my guitar. I have a guitar, it's gorgeous. I've never, my hands are too clumsy. I guess I was meant to sing instead. And I've heard that before. When we were talking about Texas and Louisiana earlier, I don't know where everybody went, but that's like the hot spot for a lot of the music that I like. The people are from Louisiana, that Natchitoches, Louisiana, and they perform around that Lafayette area, whatever, or they go into Texas. Trying to think of some of the places in Texas, Beaumont, Texas. So being on that line right there really helps with being able to see live music. So I definitely need to manifest. I don't know where Toshi went. I keep saying Toshi. God, I really want to find MK and just scream. I did watch his live last night, which was hilarious. I've never been to his page ever. I guess I didn't know it existed or whatever, but I subscribed, and I went over there and watched it. Yeah, I know I'm gonna have to. Earlier, I was just like truly like thinking of a word to rhyme it with so that I wouldn't, because he said he does it on purpose, and it just, I don't know why he does it. Shipping stuff. Okay, cool. So you and Kylie are working and listening. That's good. Hey, I'm impressed with anybody who's wanting to get up and get something done, which I know it's daytime there for y'all. And I know you said you were cold earlier, and I asked my kid, I was like, do they have different like seasons? Like, are y'all in like a cold season right now and we're like super hot? Because I know it's like work time for y'all. I just had to guess on one of y'all. I can't remember which one. I think it was you, Kylie, because I wasn't sure exactly where. So I just put like New Zealand. And so I have like on my little clock thing on my phone, like Tashi plus 14 hours, Kylie plus 50 or plus 16 hours or something. See, it's freezing. Forecast of snow? Jesus. Ah, that is so, it's hard for me to understand. I know probably need to go back to school. It's so sad. Like I don't even know how I got a master's degree in college and I don't know that. But my kid was trying to explain it to me and I'm like, that is just I get I'm grasping, trying to grasp the time change thing or time whatever, time zone thing. But the whole that it's winter there is blows my mind. We'll listen to this song. Like I said, I told them I was just gonna. It is crazy. It's insane because we're going into like swimming pool, Memorial Day, hot, hot. Everyone opens their pools, has barbecue, that weather, and then y'all are getting into like the super cold snow. Like I don't. That's so hard for me to like. We barely get snow anyway, so yeah. And for us, it's Tuesday. I wish we could zoom it up and it was Wednesday here. Yeah, here in the future. Cause I need next Wednesday to be here. I always get anxious about things, and if I have something to do that I'm having to like count down or whatever, I'm like praying. I'm praying for time to pass quick, which I shouldn't do, but I do. So y'all are always ahead. Only need it to be Tuesday. In y'all's world, I only need it to be Tuesday because it'll be Wednesday actually. But anyway, I don't really honestly even know what the hell other than I'm just hanging out with y'all on here. Um, I can try to link up a song if y'all want to hear me sing. South Island, New Zealand. Oh, it gets a lot colder. Closer to Antarctica. Oh my god, you're that close? See, I've not even looked at like a globe or a map or anything in forever. So I know Kraken is somewhere in the UK. I don't think he's like specified where. And then I know where Tashi's at. Ooh, I said it right. Tashi. I can't believe it. Like he's the only reason I messed up from day one. I've said it right. But once he said toe, mm, he would probably laugh his ass off too. I commented under his thing last night because he did make me laugh in his live. And um, I thanked him for coming by here because he did mention it. He mentioned that he came by here and he was like, it's an okay place. Like everyone else, he was like, giving a hell, like, ugh, I went by their page. Trash. I went by their page. Oh my God, they're idiots, whatever. But he said, like, I went by Undercover Mermaid's page and checked it out and it was okay. Like, fun or whatever. And it made me happy that he didn't have a negative whatever about it. He seemed to have fun. So see, that's wild that y'all are 3-hour plane ride. See, I thought y'all were like, I knew it was far, but that's insane. And when we hear the word island, we immediately think, sunbathing and tropical, whatever. It's kind of like When I hear California, we think about, Barbie and Ken and the convertible and going to the beach, We don't think about that there's another side that where there's mountains and snow and it's crazy because we're lucky if it snows like for the kids to get to even see it once a year, and it usually doesn't stick. It might stay like an inch if that. It's like a big deal if it's an inch here and it stays like one day enough for them to sled or do something. I think, I've heard my whole life about y'all are destroying the ozone layer, blah, blah. I don't know a lot about that stuff. I don't want to pretend to. I was more interested in like non-sciencey mathy stuff. I know I had to kind of get into it for psychology, but I was more into like the English composition, literature, all that stuff. And I just never studied it as much as I should. Yeah, y'all please. I'd love to come visit you guys either way. Oh, you're in America now. Okay. Okay, cool. See, I have my master's cracking, but I'm not going to lie. There are some classes like statistics, research methodology that I had to take that I was like, as soon as I learn this stuff, it's going to fly out of my brain. I just need to learn it in order to get the degree so I can have the job I want. And that's exactly what happened. Rose is 2 hours from you. Yeah, that would be so fun for you guys. And you probably could find a not too expensive flight to get to each other at least. Now, I don't know about from getting there to here. Yep, and give her a couple of those little bottles of vodka or something, those little mini plain bottles. Just knock her out when she wakes up. Boom, America. Oh, wait, so see, I don't even know exactly where. So Wales is close to by car. Oh, by plane, 5 minutes. I knew you had been close to her at some point. Y'all were going to try to meet up or something, but it didn't work out. You should. Y'all do that. Totally do it. Sometimes no shit. You can go to your doctor and tell them like, I'm going on a cruise. I need those seasick patches. I'm going on a plane, and they'll literally prescribe you like two of whatever to help you with the anxiety of getting on that plane. The heck is this? Oh, this is a sleep sounds thing I did. Rain. I need it to stop now though. I need to find something to listen to that's like my kind of music for a minute. There's Skid Row. Okay. I don't know. It always sounds like super glamorous, like where y'all are, because I literally live in a hayfield, like farmland, like not lying, just blah. Everything else sounds so exciting. For real, I told any of them that want to come stay with me. Come stay in the hayfield with me. You can go, we'll see. Depends on how you're looking. I guess I need to flip myself around. You can go to the right and be Mississippi. Go up north and you're in Tennessee. And you can go to the left and you're in Florida. So, exactly. Anywhere other than home. That's what me and the kids are like, anywhere but here. Oh, dang, I can't even pronounce that. Terrendale Napier. Duinden. I don't know if I'm pronouncing any of that right, but yeah, I have no idea. These places sound exotic. Mine sounds just like it is Alabama. I mean, it sounds exactly what it is. Country, Alabama. And then we got Tennessee, Mississippi, Florida. See, that sounds Florida. Napier. Napier. Okay. See, Tashi, not Toshi, Tashi is helping me with my enunciation at my syllable. I'm having to do the hooked on phonics. Napier. And I can never get my music that I want to listen to in the background at the right volume. So it's either blaring or I'm having to like shove it under a pillow so it's not too bad. Oh, wow. In 20 years. When do you get that holiday, or do you're just going to get to have one, you don't know when? So would it make things longer if Tashi came to you and then y'all went from there? I guess it would be, versus you going to Tashi and y'all go from there. Or would it matter? Take a ferry. Okay. See, that's what I was asking you, because from that pic or that video you showed me, it was so beautiful. And I was like, dang, how does she get all the way over there to work? And I didn't even think about a bridge. Duh. It was just the angle it was at. I was thinking, you have to take a ferry to work, all the stuff. But you explained it. But yeah, that's so you could get to Cali, but it would be a ferry or fly for 3 hours. Dang, I wonder how long the ferry would take. Oh, okay. So like when it is winter for us, like Thanksgiving, November for us or whatever, and it's getting cold, there for y'all, it'll be warm. Which that would be kind of cool. Because if you're coming over here to visit friends or whatever, it would be the holidays. Tashi visit you first. I mean, would that make sense, or would it make it a further trip? Or you're just saying you want her to come hang out and visit? Okay, Katie. Yeah, go take care of your business for sure. Totally understand, girl. I'll be thinking about you. You know that. I want you to be safe. So does Rapper. He may not be here. But he wants Katie to be safe. He really does. He loves you. How far is Sydney from you, Tashi? Because I'm familiar with Sydney now. I need to look up the town where Rick Springfield was from because he's from Australia. I love the accent. Like some accents I cannot handle. Like especially characters that have lost their accent for their character, and then they interview them after the show is like cut, they're done with the show. And they do like the after interview, like how was it like to play Jax on Sons of Anarchy? Like I am in love with Jax, love Sons of Anarchy. But Charlie Hunnam, when they interview him, I struggle so bad. Like I love Jax, not Charlie Hunnam. Like I would say, can you just be Jax all the time? Just use that voice, dressed like that, the whole nine. Sydney is a 10-hour drive or 1 hour. That's not bad. What about that ferry y'all were talking about? You would have to take a ferry. How long? I know you said it would be like 3 hours to get to Cali, or you'd have to take a ferry. How that seems like it would be slow, super slow. And you know what? I picked the right place for you, Cali. In my phone, when my daughter was putting in the time zones, so I would know, like, hey, probably not a good time to send Tashi a message. It's this time. And I usually just send it anyway and hope y'all are not getting woke up by my notifications. But I put in, I can't even pronounce it right, probably, but Auckland. That is actually where we chose because she's like, just pick a place, just pick any place in New Zealand, so we'll have a time zone. And she's like, what about Auckland or whatever? And I said, sure. And I knew Tashi's already, and so we put it in there. So I've got y'all's time zones. Katie's out is easy for me, just an hour ahead, and then Maria G's. I struggle with it, but I want to say 6 hours difference from me. Oh, cool. You know, I had that name picked out because I thought we were fixing to have an oops, a very oops baby. And I had picked out Jackson River, Jaxxon is how I wanted to spell it. River, Jackson River. And then our last name, it would have sounded really good. But no oops baby. But man, it was close. See, Rapper's back. Katie is having some people come over. I don't know if you saw earlier. She's dealing with them right now, installing cameras. She said she's listening, but she's getting all her safety stuff ready. And I said, you would totally approve. Rapper wants Katie to be safe. Oh, well done. Good. Yay. So I do look on, I try to look on there, but then I'm like, girl, you're not going to be awake at the time they are probably. And I'm surprised y'all are on here because I was like, they're going to be at work or whatever, which I know y'all are, and you'll have to listen and top in when you can. But I always worry that my message is going to make a ding and wake you up. But then usually I forget what I was going to say. So I'm like, I'm just sending it anyway. So I hope that's okay with you guys. But yeah, the name Jax. I love Jax. We had a little dog for a while. Um, and we ended up giving up for adoption to a lady that lived behind us, an older lady, where she had a lot of time with him because we stayed gone so much. Um, and he was a little Yorkie, and he needed so much attention. And we were gone, like I was gone 12 hours a day working. Kids were with my mom or at school or whatever. I mean, just we were not here enough to be attentive to him. And he had little diapers, little Batman diapers, so that when he didn't go out, he had those. And I mean, it was all cute, but I had two little ones. Yeah, I put that. I was like, because somebody put, is this not alive on a video last night? They thought it was alive. So I was just like, come swim with me. We're actually live. We're swimming over from one island to the another island. We're swimming from Tashi's over to Kylie's. It's very art deco. Ooh, I like that. I have a lot of art deco, like costume jewelry I used to collect. Yeah, I don't remember who it was. Somebody, it's a subscriber, and they last night while I was putting those videos out, put, "Is this not alive?" And I was like, maybe I need to put it on tonight's in case they came by or whatever. Yeah, I would love that, Tashi, because I need to get some of that out and show it too because I never wear it, or I need to wear it. I just need to adorn myself with all this stuff that I've been saving because it was like I'll wear that at a special occasion or whatever. So my kids are going to have all this shit to wear for they're not even going to know what to do with it all, and I need to use it or show it off or something. But I for a while I had a book about Art Deco jewelry, and I would go around to like flea markets or get in fights with people on eBay when I had this is when I had extra money before I had kids. And I had a nice little collection of like I don't know, just things that are super unique. Okay, Kylie, that's cool. I'm glad we got to talk to you a little bit. Okay. Kylie, I have my sleep schedule has been really bad. That's why I told my kids like set a timer, come in here, make me get off here after a certain amount of time because the 9 hours, the whatever is too it's too much for me. And then it makes me want to take a 3 day break. And then everybody's kind of like, where'd you go? So I think if I did shorter lives, I would be able to come back more. But yeah, Kylie, we still are going to be thinking about you wherever you are. No, you too, Kylie. We'll definitely, like I said, we'll be thinking about you. And Katie, she's getting everything all taken care of. And Rapper came back for a second. I don't know. I don't know if you saw him or not, Katie. Rapper can be my brother. Will be Katie's extra or bonus. That's what people call it. Bonus daughter and son. So what's up with y'all? I know y'all sitting here. Y'all got travel plans in the future, which I think that would be awesome if you came here and it was like the holidays here, and it was like cool weather here. Would that? Yeah, it'd be cool weather here. But I don't even know what time it is. But if you're having to go to sleep or anything, Katie, good night, and I will share your link out for sure. Oh, Art Deco bracelets. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what you're saying because I like that stuff that I must really be like connected to you in a way. And I had like I said, I had like a nice book about it, like I don't know, the dictionary of Art Deco jewelry or whatever. So when I would get a piece, I would try to learn about where it was from or whatever. That stuff is interesting to me. I guess I just have to have it. Um, it has to be something interesting for me to study, like geography or math. Those are not my strong suit at all. Science was okay, but definitely like English literature, English composition, um, behavioral psychology, abnormal psychology, all that stuff, sociology, archaeology. I mean, I did all of that, ologies, music, language. None of that bothered me, but statistics, math stuff, and like some of the history stuff, no. I need and I did have one that was my mom's because she was a teacher, but I need a globe, like an old school globe, where I can flip that bitch around and look at it and be like, there's where Tashi lives, there's where Kylie lives, and it would make more sense in my head. I know where Katie lives. It's not too hard for me to think about up. Just go straight up pretty much. Over to the right a little bit. I used to always want to come to where you live, Katie, because of lighthouses. If I'm thinking of the right place, because there was a TV show called Wings, and I watched it all the time, and they were in Nantucket, maybe, and they had lighthouses, and I was obsessed. That was like I collected lighthouses, and my room at home before I moved out had lighthouses. I don't know if y'all have them or if I'm thinking of like one place over. But yeah, but I used to always say I'm going to go to Nantucket or to somewhere up in that area where Wings, where they see all the lighthouses when they get on their airplane. You might remember that show, Katie. It's way back in the day. Um, See, I don't watch TV anymore, so I don't know if it's still like it would be reruns, but I don't even know if it's still on TV anymore. Massachusetts. Dang, it wouldn't think it's 4 hours. You would think it's closer. Okay, cool. Um, and there's trying to think of where it would be considered. Where would like Martha's Vineyard and places like that be considered? Would it be Massachusetts as well? I'm trying to think. Like one of my favorite um, singers. It's at the bottom. Okay, one of my favorite singers, guitar players, writers, whatever. He does it all. Evan Dando of the Lemonheads. Y'all will get to hear some interesting stories. I know you're like, when the hell are these stories coming? They're coming. I promise. I just got to be in the right mood. Um, I've gotten to meet him several times, and he has a beautiful. It's an old church that he is redoing into a home very slowly. I don't know if he's ever going to get there or not, but it is so cool that he's up north. It's cool that all of y'all are up north, but you have like a beach and water, and I know it's probably cold, but yeah. See, it you can tell everything around him is like super fancy, like a little cute village, pretty. Um, but then he is kind of like out from that a little bit. I wish I could think of the name of it, but that's the only place close by I could think of. And he purchased this old church and is redoing it. And the time when he goes up there, he just stays in this tiny little, I don't know, cabinish area that he's made off to the side. And I guess he kind of doesn't get to work on it as much when he goes off on tour, and he doesn't hire help. He could, and then he recently got engaged to a girl that lives in Brazil. So he's been doing a lot of shows there. And I think he's been staying more with her and her family because she has children. So he's been staying in Brazil a lot instead of going to his home. His mom lives up that way. She has an art gallery. She's an artist. Um, Man, even at her age, she's still beautiful. I follow her on Instagram, and she shares like her recipes and shows her art. And he started painting and stuff too. She's put some of his art in her gallery. Um, but yeah, his name is Evan Dando. If y'all want to check him out ever, he has solo stuff as well as his Lemonhead stuff. And when you see him, you're just gonna be like, dang, he's just like a dirty, grungy hippie kind of guy. But I mean, that's kind of what he learned. Um, he partially, from what I've read and studied, was born into like a commune that was super popular in the 70s and lived there for a while. And it was all up in that area. Wish I could think of the name of it because it was a pretty famous like commune that people knew about. Um, but he grew up like in a very hippie lifestyle, and he did get on drugs, and he's somebody that's sort of non-apologetic about it, kind of like Lane Staley in a way. Um, which is scary because he said he didn't care, he was not stopping, he would just do it until he died, which he did. um, you live in the Lakes region. Go up. um, but anyway, yeah, I wanted to, for Katie, how I started all this was I wanted to see lighthouses. I wanted to be around lots of them, and there were so many pretty ones. And when I had to repaint my room because it was black with like blue, that's another reason I love that song, Katie. I painted my bedroom when I was a teenager black, and then I got like a sponge and did blue and made the sky. I made it like what a stormy sky. And my dad said, I'm fine with that, but when you leave for good, I want you to paint over that so that you leave us at least with, a decent room, a guest room or whatever. So I painted it like a blue gray color. And I knew I was going to be leaving soon, but like the last 6 months or whatever, I painted it that color. And like I left my bed and did like a kind of plain plaid bedspread with those colors. And then had like a shelf with all my lighthouses and the lighthouse throw and all of that stuff. And I left it where, it could be a guest room or whatever. I didn't take any of that with me to my apartment. I wanted to have totally all new stuff to look at. Aw. Yeah, my dad was, like I said, I think I told a story about him the other day. I don't know who I was even telling the story about to him to, if it was on here. I have no idea now. But he was very manic, but it was fun when I was a kid most of the time. Now there were some times where he and my mom, they argued a lot. Oh, it was talking about the Christmas lights. Yeah. And she, having been raised super conservative, like they butted heads a lot, but they met each other in middle school, square dancing, because you used to have to do that in PE class, gym class, however you say it, wherever y'all are from. We've said it both ways. We say gym or PE, but you had to, I don't know why, I did too. You had to learn to square dance. And they would always put me with these short, super short guys, which I was super tall. So I always hated it, which I just was not a fan of square dancing either. I really am struggling to know why. Like, why did we need to learn how? Okay, I'm reading y'all stuff. But yeah, apparently they learned that as well in middle school, and they were square dance partners. And my dad like had a crush on my mom, so he got someone to trade places with him where they could square dance together, and then they were together after that the whole time. So seventh grade forward, um, until he passed, like they were always together. So even though he was so opposite than her, like they actually ended up living so close to each other that when I was a kid, I could walk through the woods, like behind one of my grandparents' house, cut through one person's yard, and be in the back of my other grandmother's house. And like back then, no one cared. It wasn't a big deal. I did it all the time. If I got bored at one place, I would just walk up the hill and through some woods. Like, I mean, it wasn't like easy. It was a few, up a hill at a few houses over, but wasn't bad. And they'd prefer me to do that than walk on the road. So I did it. Like I said, got bored at one place, I'd go there. I got bored there, I'd go back there, back and forth all the time. So as teenagers, when they built those houses and moved into them and they were dating, Like they were right there with beside each other. The square dancing, you would have loved that, Katie. I was so shy when it was like, you have to hold this dude's hand and swing round and round and learn this, that, and the other. I was just like, why in the world? And they would, you'd have to hold hands with somebody that was just like, oh, why? Sounds like me, Tashi. Oh, the woods part. Yeah, Katie. I had a tire swing and I would swing on it at my grandfather and grandmother's house. He had little holes like where there were drain pipe looking things, but he made like his own little putt putt golf course in the backyard because he worked so much. He didn't get to like go do a lot of stuff because he had essentially 3 jobs he was working, and he had 3 sisters. Hey Angel, how's it going? And so he was like all the time busy. So he kind of made his own little golf course where you could hit the ball into like this little pop thing. So I had fun there, but when my fun was over or he had to leave to go to work, my grandmother was very she raised all of her brothers and sisters, and she had like 12. And then her mother passed away during childbirth with the last one. And so she was the oldest daughter. So she had to raise all of those kids. So by the time my grandfather met her, he came out there as a cop because her brothers were in trouble for moonshine. And when he saw her, he said he fell instantly in love with her, most beautiful girl he had ever seen. He went back 2 weeks later and just picked her up, and they went and got married. Like, no kidding. So she always was like, he rescued me and took me to the big city, which is laughable, but she actually lived in a more country, rednecky place than we live, which is, it's hard to imagine, but yes, that's where I was talking about. They had the rooster fights and all that stuff. But yeah, he came from the city part where we are, still not big city, but she thought, in her mind it was. And he took her by a store where she later ended up working. Yeah, I came by your thing, by your page and Rebels. I tried to make sure I came by and stayed for a minute at least. And then I had a few folks asking me to come on here, and I came on. I have like no topic. I'm just rambling. But yeah, anyway, he went over there, was getting on to her brothers, but then like fell in love with her, came back, got her, took her to this like fancy store where she ended up working later. She didn't have to, but she liked working there, and she like wanted to have all the newest clothes or whatever. And she was nosy too. She also liked to know all the town gossip, so she was right there. But before she was working there, he took her by there, and she was like, wow, this is a big deal. And he was like, the store's open, go in there and just get whatever you want, just pick out like a fancy dress, hat, whatever, and we're going to go get married. So I've seen the pictures. I don't have them, unfortunately. My sister had them, and I don't know. There's so much stuff that's mixed around or gone forever. But it's a picture of her getting in the car off like the sidewalk from the store. And she has on like, you've seen people like in black and white movies or whatever. She has on like the little suit type thing and a hat with like the little net. And they're getting in like, it looks like a Cadillac. I'm not sure. Something of that nature. And she just looks so happy. And she was very pretty. She was one of the I think it's called USO girls. You know how you always see the women that went overseas to the military and like, I don't know, they did all kinds of stuff. They sang, danced, performed, helped, serve whatever food, I guess. Like, I think they were called the USO girls, but it was actually out of New Orleans. So she went there and got to get away for a little bit, and some of her brothers went off into the military. So that was before her mom decided to have the last child. and she had what now could have been easily taken care of, which was preeclampsia, high blood pressure. And so while she was having that last baby, she had a stroke. And so they literally handed her a newborn baby and all the brothers. It was just her and one sister. The rest were boys. So she had to make sure they stayed out of trouble, which didn't happen, but she tried. And she had gotten her sister up to a decent age, I guess, to hang with them. And she took her opportunity. And I don't know, both of my grandmothers have a similar story as to like my grandfather's kind of had more money and like more opportunities for them. And they both were very pretty. And so um, they got to get out of really, really bad, not like the country, the biggest country you could possibly think of. I mean, the countryest of countries, and brought to this city, which is still country in my opinion, but they saw it as a better like opportunity and they took it. But kind of with both, were like, I don't want a lot of kids because I've already been there, done that. And one of my grandmothers, the first one I was talking about, she was, she would never admit it until after my grandfather passed away, but she was bipolar and she would have to go on what we would call a annual vacation, which would be to get on her medication, to get it all straight, whatever. And she would do well after she got out. And then she would just quit taking it. She would be like, I'm cured. Everything's great. And she would quit taking it. So she probably, not even probably, she did pass that on down to um, my father. So that's why he had so much mania and like he didn't do anything just a little. He did it big. I actually spoke at his funeral and I did what I spoke, which was I had a lot of pushback. Family's not supposed to speak at a funeral. Women are not supposed to get up, and I was just like, fuck you, doing it. Sorry, this is my dad. And I think I have it still folded up in my purse actually, but it was titled Big because he was a big guy and he didn't do anything just a little. He went all the way out. So he, I think, had the same as her. He had like the more mania of the bipolar, but she not wanting to take her meds, we would end up having to take her back. Same thing. She would get on them, she would do well, she would quit taking them. So it was just pointless. We went through that cycle for probably 4 years, maybe 5, until we were just like, okay, whatever. My grandfather, all that time, had been sending her on cruises, buying her jewelry. I mean, she was very spoiled. And she told him, I'm going to have one child, and you better hope it's a boy to carry on your name because I'm not having any more. So luckily, they had one child, and it was a boy, my dad. And he so much wanted brothers and sisters. And because of, how they were, my grandmother on the other side, my mom's mom, also the oldest daughter, had the situation she was in. I'll brief over that when I do the life thing. She had to take care of all her siblings. So she felt the same way. Like, I'm not just jazzed to have a bunch of kids, but they ended up having 2 daughters, which my grandfather on that side was just happy. He just wanted children. He really did. And he had been in the war for a while, and he had the Purple Heart. He was wounded like pretty badly, but kept going. Was still a successful man. He was the one who was very religious. But my grandmother sort of saw herself as being rescued by him as well. So both of them were like, we've raised all of our brothers and sisters. We're not really digging the thought of having, kids to take care of, but, for you, since you rescued me, we'll have one, and let's hope it's a boy to carry on your name, because that's a big deal here in the South. Like, if you have kids for whatever reason, it kind of makes me mad. But if you have a boy and two girls, let's say, that boy gets showered with attention. Like, he is just the most amazing of amazing. And he can be like horrible and treat like people in the family like crap. But oh, he's still the best. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, right now, I could really use a brother, a dad, an uncle, a somebody. And we don't have any of that. So I get it in a way, but people who have big families, like I would see it done like with my ex and his family. Like big, like all the women would, bustle around and take care of them and wait on them and all of that. And I know a lot of that comes from religious things and the South and whatever. The women are kind of serve the men situation. But like, wow, they do make a difference with their sons and daughters. And I hate that. My dad hated that. He wanted to have more kids than just me and my sister. And between me and my sister, my mom actually wasn't able to carry it all the way to term, but she did have a little boy, and he wanted a boy so bad. So when they lost that boy, they got pregnant again with me. And the doctor was like, "Oh, well, we'll see again next time." And he's like, "No, I don't think she wants to try again. So you probably won't see me back." And my mom was a teacher, like I've told y'all, who would be like done at the end of the day with kids. So she kind of was just like, honestly, not the best hands-on kind of lovey-dovey mom at all. Like, I've told y'all, we didn't say I love you unless something bad was happening and we were fixing to deliver some bad news. We didn't hug each other, same reason. So if people, even till this day, hug me, I feel like they're fixing to say goodbye, or they're going to tell me something that's really going to be devastating to me. Like, it's fucked up. I'm so sorry, y'all. It just is. And I can say I love you or love you, girl, or whatever. But if somebody legit is in my face and they're going to tell me they love me, like, that's a big statement for me, because we didn't say that. Like, we just didn't hug each other and say, "I love you, sweetie. Be careful." We didn't do that at all. So that's hard for me. There's a lot of shit that when I get it out there, whenever I decide to do this, it'll make sense and maybe help people understand me a little bit better. But yeah, both of my grandmothers were swept away from really, really. If I think I'm in a hayfield, they were definitely in a hayfield, and they thought this was being rescued into the big city. So they had cool love stories, I have to say. And I'm happy, things turned out great for them. Really wish they would have had a brother or sister for my dad, because, like I said, I could really use an uncle, an aunt, preferably an uncle. I need somebody like, I don't know. I just the other day told my daughter it's so sad because we all have been to therapy for grief issues. Um, I highly encourage therapy for people for all kinds of reasons, but that no matter how much therapy I've been through, I never really realized, but I do have like what they consider, people in movies and stuff say, daddy issues. Even though I had an amazing dad, he worked so much. And my grandfather, same thing. My grandfather had 3 jobs. He was a city councilman, he had a car lot, and he worked in the mines underground. And then before that, he was a policeman. So, I mean, he was juggling all these jobs. And then he had 3 sisters and a mom. And a horrible story about losing his brothers and his dad. So, as he being the only man left, he was being pulled in all the directions. And then had a very high maintenance wife who he basically would just look at across the room when she was acting a fool and being like, he just had this look at like, if you act straight, I'm fixing to give you some diamonds or send you on a cruise. Just shush. Don't act crazy. And she did so well when he was alive, but once he was gone, like I said, she had to go on her annual trip to the hospital to get on medication. I'm reading y'all stuff. Does it have Jennifer Aniston in it, Katie? It's been a long time, but I want to say I've watched it, but I'll watch it again because it's been a long, long time. Good evening or day, Lord Dandy. I heard it was your birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, no, it's an older movie. The Goodbye Girl. Okay, I can remember that. So, yeah, happy birthday. Happy, we'll say 40th birthday. I don't know how old you are, but we'll go with 40. Okay. Yep. I was born. It should be perfect for me then, Katie. Late 70s. I've heard it. I don't know how, but I have heard it. Oh, wow. Kraken is telling you in a fancy language. Happy birthday. Richard Dreyfuss. Yeah, I remember he was in like a sitcom that I watched where he was like a pediatrician or something. Um, and he had the daughters who were always like Marsha Mason. I don't know who that is. So the Goodbye Girl. Okay, y'all love giving me homework. I got all the homework, which I passed. I did Tashi's homework. Good job. Um, I have done some challenges or homework before. Um, when I first started doing all of this, that Dave would say, read this or watch this or whatever. I did that, so I'll watch that for sure. I love y'all's homework. So it's funny and sad. Okay. Well, hey, I'm in that kind of mood right now myself. Okay. Give me one more. I might sing a song and wrap it up because I think everyone's kind of busy tonight, it seems like. Oh, I love you too, Katie. I know y'all got a lot. Everybody's kind of, oh, my thing came undone, but it looks fully charged. Um, everybody's kind of like working and listening, and I know you're security and listening, and I think Lionel's just coming through. We're giving him the happy birthdays, and Kraken, he's always here. He always comes through, and it's very nice. And I do need to do your homework, Kraken, and listen to those bands because I have a feeling like you wouldn't lead me astray. You kind of know what kind of music I like, and I do need to broaden my music. So I definitely will. I need to focus on my homework, don't I? Oh, they're almost done. Okay. I know probably for you it's getting later anyway. Let's see. Because when I got on here, yeah, it's 11 here. So dang, almost midnight. You're lucky that somebody will do work. Like it's hard to get anybody around here. They like to pass it off to someone else. Oh, well, you'll need to talk to so and so. Let me put you on hold. Then you'll go to that person. Then they'll put you on hold. And I'm like, dude, I wish I had a job like that back in the day where I could just like keep passing it off to, whatever. I was always, like I said, that person that stopped everything and was like, hang on, and went back, never clocked back in or anything, and just went and took care of it. And I don't know, It's weird. It's kind of weird now. Like I said, just like going back and looking at other people, the way they chart things and trying to correct them. I'm not good at telling people, hey, that's not right. Because, man, I remember when people would tell me stuff like that, I, I take criticism hard. I need to work on that, but I do take it very hard. Um, so I have to try to be kind of just very matter of fact, not really mean or nice, just kind of, this needs to be fixed, kind of. And it's just because the more you write, the more they can poke holes in it or find something wrong. They come in, that's their job, is to look for anything wrong. They have different people. They have one person assigned to like the kitchen, one assigned to like the OSHA guidelines, and they go around with the maintenance guy and look at the sprinkler system, whatever. They have one person for social services and activities. That's where I'm at. And they look at all the charting, make sure people are at least offered activities. Have you addressed their behavioral issues? What medicine are they on? What their diagnosis is? Does it match the medicine? What is the medical code? Like, I can go on and on. Hospice care, family involvement, blah, blah, all of that. And then you have another person that does like the financials. They go through all of that. Somebody that goes through nursing, they literally follow them around, counting meds on the cart, interacting with patients. They're there for 3 days. And when I say 3 days, not just like 8 hours a day for 3 days. No, they come and pack out all their stuff. They're camped out there. Um, I remember when I was pregnant with my second baby, my last baby, they were there one day for 13 hours. And I had to be there. Had to be there. That's like the number one part of my job, is to make sure they don't get any tags, period. Even when I was there, like on site working, that was still a part of my job because I was the one charting all that stuff. Now I'm the one who's going back, like correcting it. But yeah, when they came in, it was all hands on deck. Everybody call your families and tell them they're not going to be seeing you for 3 days. Find babysitters. Y'all order pizzas to send here, like you're not leaving. Because they do give you a chance to correct it while they're there. But that's a short period of time to correct some things. Because some of it's not just charting. Like if they find something wrong with, say, the sprinkler system, that's not an easy fix. That's not a quick fix. Um, like if they say, the doorway is not wide enough, again, not a quick fix. So a lot of, like, on my end of things, patients got really clever and they would be like, these clothes got stolen from me and they all had my name in them and they didn't do anything about it. So then we would have to hurry up and go out and buy these people clothes, like usually it was like sweatsuits or whatever, and put their names in it and replace it and chart that we had done that and show them. So some people, like I said, usually younger people that were there, they caught on and were like, hey, this is our opportunity to, get some free stuff. And kind of like, we didn't have a choice. It was like, fix it or you're getting a tag. And if you had an A or B tag, not bad. C, you really kind of need to correct that. Or I would not accept a C. I never had a tag in my department while I was there. I can proudly say that. And I try to make sure that doesn't happen now, like, since that's my major thing I have to do. But if you get an I or a J, stands for like Jeopardy. That's when your doors are locked and you can't take any new admissions. Um, like it's you zero until it's fixed. And so really an I or a J. And like I said, when you get to a C, we're still on your ass. You better fix it, fix it, fix it now. Preferably no tags. So you get like a grade when they leave. It's almost kind of like a restaurant or whatever. You know how they give you like the score? Same deal, kind of. Hang on, I'm reading. Okay, thank God. When I read that at first, I didn't get to the last sentence of where you put that, Katie. Yeah, that is creepy, but I'm glad. So where he threw his phone, they got it and looked through his shit. That's good. What a weirdo. People are weird. I do need to come hang out with you right now, Katie. I need to smoke some and just calm the fuck down for a minute because I have no idea what I'm even saying, y'all, or why I'm saying it. Like I've already forgotten what topic I'm on. Yeah, where you're at, you can say whatever the hell. Here, if I said that, oh my god, they would cuff me immediately. For us to live in the middle of nowhere, like that would honestly be the best thing. We would be able to farm it and everyone would be way more chilled out. It would be better than the alternative, which is, they call it hillbilly heroin. Um, it would definitely be better. Yeah, I mean, even that, Katie, a lot of people would qualify for that. It is sad, like seriously, around here, the things you have to resort to. People that would be like, Amy, just go get a bag of weed, chill out. Where? I'm not gonna lie, the one dude that I knew that you might could, this old man that used to sit on the sidewalk across from the liquor store. His name was Doug. He's dead now, so I'm not outing him. And he was an old black dude, really sweet, but kind of crazy at the same time. He's the only person who I would know to even ask. So that's why I have to order cartridges. And I don't think that I bought a disposable thing and I don't think it has anything left in it last night. What'd I do with it? I tried to take a puff off of it and I swear I think it was just like what's left was like the battery. And it tasted like a battery. So I don't know. I may take one last puff of it and we'll see if it tastes like a battery or not. Hell, I do experiments. Why not? But if I was with you, Katie, you could bake us something and put it in there. Which, no, that wouldn't work for me. Never mind. I would just be smoking it. Because I forgot edibles don't work for me at all. Or I've yet to find one. I challenge anyone who can find one and point me in that direction. Someone said, I think Brittany told me on here one night that it was my gallbladder. If you don't have a gallbladder, it does not metabolize properly, and so you don't feel any effects. And I have tried a lady that I knew that had a bakery, or I don't really know her, but I knew her from a page, a pot girl power page, and she sold, baked goods and whatnot. And I got some lollipops, some chocolate chip cookies, I don't know what all, but none of them worked. And then what else did I try? I don't know. Everything I've tried, it does not work. So I'm not going to waste the money on any kind of edible. So mine it has to be smoke. So I don't love cartridges. I want to go back to the old school, what we used to call dirt weed around here, just good old redneck weed. And that my hippie chick friend that I refer to a lot, that's what she taught me how to roll. And that was always a big deal because most girls would hand it to their boyfriend and be like, hey, can you roll me a joint or whatever? And I could roll my own. And they were like, damn. Like that was a big deal if you were a girl and you could roll your own. Yep, you should, Tashi. If you got your gallbladder intact. I want to say it was Brittany that told me that. So neither of them. Dang. Okay, cool. Me and you'll be rolling them up, Katie. And puff, puff. We'll call your kids and we'll put them on speakerphone and we'll just be laughing, listening to music and being like, hey, what up? Because your other two are you have sons, right? 2 sons? Yeah. See, I always miss her on here. I'm guessing she goes to sleep earlier or something. She does send me messages. She is so sweet. There's a girl that she watches sing on TikTok. I understand, Katie, totally. Like I said, this lady sent me a care package with cookies and lollipops and whatnot. And I tried it. I spent a nice little chunk of money and nothing, zero helped. And she has a very successful, little business. So I know it was not like faked or anything. And then I actually ordered from a like website some mushroom lollipops, and they didn't do anything either. So, oh my God. Yes. Honestly, it went through my mind. I just didn't say it. So, Tashi, read my mind over here. She would kill us, literally. Um, but actually, you know what this lady did? She put no return address, zero return address. So if it got lost, that's on me. Too bad, so sad for me. And sent it like FedEx or something. So, I mean, literally, it was quite literally a little care package, like from a grandma with cookies and shit in it. Okay. And I am younger than Gary, not quite as young as Amanda would have been, but in between the two. I'm in the 40s. So I would have a brother and a sister. Wow. Because I don't have my sister anymore. Never had the brother experience, but I always, Tashi's like, no, you don't. But I have always wanted a brother. I always thought they would be protective of you. I don't know. Like my brother-in-law was kind of like a brother and a husband. I know that's really fucked up, but like he was protective, but he also like did things around the house and like did the dad things with the kids because their dad just is gone. Just like not because like he just left us because I like told him bye bye. Like you're not safe to be around. Like you're not even really helping or doing the things that you're supposed to be doing here as a father and a husband. You're not together enough. You need to go work on yourself. And for a really long time, I would have welcomed him back because I did a million times. Um, but I realized like he's never like he's had so many opportunities. He's gone to rehab so many times. He's whatever. He doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to take care of himself, much less, a wife and two children. So I had to just let that go. I knew him since a child, but I mean, I was a child. And it was kind of like my mom and dad's love story or whatever. And they stayed together. I was the first divorce in our whole family. First. And one of the only till current day. Oh, I got to really catch up. Hang on a second. Oh, we're right at the same age then, Katie. Perfect. And I think Lionel just turned 40, or that's what I said anyway. He left after that, so I mean, he should have been happy because I know he's a little older than that, but I was trying to stay. I should have said 21. Oh, he's nosy. I could totally see brothers being nosy, but I don't know. I don't. It's weird to me. I guess I wouldn't mind it. I would with you like you've had to grow up with it from day one. But see, I was trying to be kind with the 40. Um, but yeah, I would have. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have as a little kid, but I would have as I was older, especially like dating and stuff. My neighbor now, he was an only child, and he was, his mom was a stay-at-home mom, but she always was like keeping the house perfectly clean, and she watched soap operas all day. And his dad drank pretty heavily. I mean, hell, there's a theme here with where I live, what people do. Um, and when he would get home, he was like, the house better be perfect, dinner, all of that. So she would pretty much lock him out every day, all day. In the summer, he would just be at my house all the time. We would be on our bikes, we would camp out. Like, he was the brother that I needed. And unfortunately, he too is now passed away from drugs. So I don't know. Y'all rescue me. Rescue me and my daughters, because we are not, but we are stuck in a fucking really bad little country. Hey, I keep calling it a hayfield because honestly, it seems like that. And I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, brothers. Yeah. So my brother-in-law was only a few years younger than me. My sister went quite younger. She married someone almost 10 years younger than her. And she had a child very late, like later in life. She was 39, I believe. And I mean, like I said, there's a huge tragic story to it all, but he was healthy and happy and strong, and everything was great. She did have, they did watch her and had to check on her a lot more with her pregnancy, but she actually had to have a procedure called the loop procedure. I don't know anything about it, but they said that it was kind of, a simple procedure, but it was like a 50-50 chance of whether she would be able to have a child or not. And she had gastric bypass. She was a drinker. A lot of stuff going on. So it really was a miracle. And for a while, it did change her. She became a much better person. She loved being a mom. And even though, like I said, she was an older mom, for me, people considered me an older mom, and I was like 30 with my first and 33 with my second. But my sister, she was 39. For a while, she just kept saying she didn't want children. And my oldest and her were super close. And when she like took her to the mall or whatever, that people would be like, "Oh, your little girl is beautiful." And she'd be like, "Thanks." And I would be behind them thinking, "Girl, I'm the one that got cut open and stapled and all of the stuff. You ain't going to take credit. That beautiful little girl is mine." She would get so mad. We'd be in an argument. You imagine tumbleweeds in the dirt road. I'm not lying, Tashi. If you came here and looked across the street, it is just hay. Just flat, just a hay field, just nothingness. Oh, you and Earl. You and Tosh, you're hilarious. How did y'all meet? I'm curious. Like, where did y'all meet? That's a good story. Where did Tashi and Kylie and Katie all meet? Was it all in Rose's chat? You love hay. Well, we got plenty of it here. Brittany probably does too. If Tashi, I don't know if she calls her town a hayfield, but I'm guessing, is she Kentucky or Arkansas? Either way, she's got some hayfields around her too. I think me and her would have a lot in common, honestly, with the whole country southern stuff, but I just never get to talk to her much. Oh, I was going to ask you, does she have her own channel? Okay. See, same with me. That's where I found Rose. So I know I saw Tashi all the time in there. I don't remember seeing you in there, Katie, but you might have had a different name. And I never said anything, hardly ever. But I was in there a lot. Last night, I literally had a small panic attack for the world. Maybe not the world, for the internet world. because I saw what was going on over there and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I thought that shit was over. I didn't think they were having another one. Okay, I don't think I know who that is, but well, I was there before the Tina stuff, Katie. I just was in the wings. So I've seen Tashi for a long time. I just never talked to her. I told her straight up, we were asking about first impressions the other day. I thought she was a snob. Thought she was a snobby girl that would never talk to me, and I probably shouldn't talk to her. She was going to insult me. Oh, gotcha. Yep. And that's how I found out Tashi was not just snobby mean, that she was very kind and sweet. She can be mean if she needs to be, but hey, that's the kind of person I like. Assault me. I meant insult. I don't know. I sound so country. It probably sounded like that. But insult me. Say bad stuff about me. See, I didn't know who y'all are talking about for a minute, but now I got y'all. God, don't conjure her over here, Katie. Oh, Lord, I don't even know what I would do. Just based on like sitting back and watching. Oh, yeah. And you know what's fucked up is my, okay, it's not my Cash App. It's my PayPal it's fucked up. I've not changed my email ever. I have the same AOL email that I got when we had dial-up internet back in late 90s. And I was still at my home with my parents, about to go off to college. Like, we literally had the whole dial-up internet. And so we used what was going to be my sister's married name, Casola. And, well, that was her first marriage. She was our second divorce in the family. And she said, thank God you got one. So I could finally leave him, who was abusing her. And no one ever knew it until later. I need to make that part of my story. I totally forget him all the time, but they were married for a while, and that's why she had a child so much later in life. Her second husband was much younger than her, and they had a child together. But yeah, I had to remove that fucking name and I started thinking last night. Hopefully, I'll get back to that point. Oh yeah, anyway, if anybody wonders, that's the whole reason my email and my PayPal, all of that says Casola 777. I always think about it and I'm like, oh shit, because of what Katie put up there. And I just know like she would probably eat me alive if she came over here. Like, I don't know why. She just would find a reason, I'm sure. But so I've never changed it. And I've had so many people like be like, why the hell? Why don't you change it? No one has AOL anymore. And why? That's your ex brother-in-law's last name. But I'll never forget it. Like, for me, it's rare and easy to remember. So I've just never changed it. But it's Casola 777. So, oh, you think she would be nice? I don't know, Katie. I've seen both sides. But I think I would be terrified. Oh, I've seen her and she's hilarious when it's somebody else on the other side, but I wouldn't want her, because I don't have the badass enough to, go up against that at all. At all. I would definitely not be able to have her on panel or anything. I would freak out. Okay. Well, maybe she wouldn't fuck with me unless it's like, well, this person or hang out over there, so you're guilty by association. There's a lot of that shit going on here. But, oh, that's what I was going to say. I was thinking about creators in general who, because I frequent around different pages and hang out. And I actually asked this question because I want my page to be like Dazed. I don't know if y'all have ever been over to her karaoke page, or on Wednesday nights she does like a Bible study page. But a lot of people go to her karaoke page. That's where I met like some of my very first friends on here ever that like talked to me and was like, "Hey, come out of the bushes. You sang a song. That's great." Like, I don't know, they really encouraged me. But the way she has it set up over there, she has a small group. They all have a wrench, so you can share each other's channels. You know, no one's going to come in there rando and, you know, try to kick you out. You're safe. Like most people know, they don't have to use their wrench because everyone behaves theirself. It's Dazed Campfire Karaoke, but she actually used to be over at Jimmy's too with White Rabbit. Like they all kind of hang together. Her and White Rabbit, Gypsy, Lulu. But her page being smaller and being a lot, you know, she does mostly karaoke stuff. I just like the way it's set up. And I mentioned that in Rose's chat the other night, saying, you know, I kind of want to keep my page like Dazed. I like it. If I know the person well enough and they've been back in here, you know, several times, or I've talked to them or whatever, like I don't have a problem with them having a wrench at all. If they don't want one, that's cool. But if otherwise, I think it's fine. And I don't really need anyone else's permission to do that. And if they're a rando, I'm not going to give them one until I've seen them in here several times. Or if there's someone who's a troublemaker, I'm not going to. But I did ask the question because I had caught her in a live and I was like, I've been wanting to ask her. I said, you know, when you first started doing that, and I know she had to go through a lot of, you know, mean girl stuff. I said, did you, or how do you feel if you had a creator come in and they were having, you know, a beef with someone else and they were like, you know, I'm your friend, super close to you. You know, I'm going to be in here every time you're live, but you can't have this person in there, this person in there, or this person in there. She's like, yeah, that's a big turnoff. I don't care if you're my friend or not. I don't do that to people. I said, yeah, I've never went into someone's live and did that either, ever. I've never went into someone's live and said, I demand that you do this, this, and this, or I will not be back. Like, I can't imagine. Y'all clearly know there is someone I do not like at all. If I were to go into the couple of pages that I really enjoy going into and I ask them to block her, they would look at me and laugh their ass off and say, absolutely not. She is a sweetheart. You'll just have to go somewhere else. So guess what? I've never asked because I know what the answer would be. And I think it's disrespectful. That's just me. Now, if you have someone and I have seen them go after you and I have seen that they are just a problem, period, to everyone, and that they are like a stalker or whatever, then absolutely, I will 100% block them myself. Done. And then I also have mentioned you can, you know, when I have a link or say drop a link, get in the back chat, tell me what the problem is. And if I think it's warranted, cool, I'll do it. But I've really never even seen other people do it. I don't know. I just think it's weird. But she said she had that happen when she started her channel and she did it this way. And she just had to tell the person. And she said that person didn't speak to her for a while. But that as a creator, she had that happen and she just was very turned off by that. She didn't want to run her channel like that, and that people are not going to like it. I'm going to have things that people don't like, and that I don't need to be afraid that this person's not going to talk to me or whatever. I don't need to live like that and be like such a people pleaser. And I am. Because I don't know, I just looked at her page and our page, or I call it our page, whatever, my page, and thought, this is the better way. This is the way I think will work out for me. And I don't know. I don't think you should do that. I don't do it. I mean, can y'all imagine busting up on Jimmy's page and telling him I can't be here if this, and this person's there. He would laugh so hard he couldn't even find him in the chat, first of all. And then second of all, he's like, fuck you, I want as many subscribers as I can have. Yeah, right. That's right, Tashi. That's what you should do. Yep. And literally, that person, y'all know, I don't know where the hell she's at. I haven't seen her. If she is in chats with me, I don't know. She could be here right now. I don't fucking know. And I don't care. And it's been amazing. And it helped me from having to ask that creator, because I knew they were going to say no, to say, I will never come back to your page. I will not be a moderator. I will whatever. Because I'm close to this person. I would never in my wildest dreams ask them, because I know. And I also know that they're really, really trying to build their channel. Big build it. Not a little baby channel like this. And they need those numbers. So they're not going to block somebody for me and make them pissed off and leave. So if that's the case, you know, I don't know. That's the way I'm doing it here. And I'm sure it's going to be an issue, but whatever. I have one person that I have agreed, because I've seen it myself. And it is a serious issue. So they'll be blocked. And the other one's just blocked on my personal whatever. I don't think they'll find their way over here into my corner of the world. And if they do, Tashi, Katie, anybody, y'all know the backstory, fucking block the hell out of them. I don't care. But that's the only two people. I don't want anyone coming up in here with a list and then next week changing their mind, or with a list and then I go in their chat and those people are in their chat. That happened to me and I was so mad. I'm not going to lie. Y'all can tell probably by my voice, my blood pressure was rising, because I was like, okay, I thought that person and that person were a problem, but they're here. What? I mean, I can't keep up with that. I'm sorry. The one person, sure, I'm with you on that. I can't keep up with all the others. So sorry, but I can't. And if that means that you can't be my friend or whatever, then okay, it doesn't make sense to me, because you have them in yours. So I don't know. But I don't know. I have a baby channel over here. Like, let's let it be. Yeah, exactly, Katie. Like I said, I've seen this one person and I'm in agreement with them. They do need to be blocked. And they are and will stay blocked. And if they come in here under another name, I'll never know. Just like they'll never know. That person could be in their chat right now and they don't have a clue. So you don't always eliminate the problem, but you can. But I do have them blocked out of respect for that person. But I'm not going to block 3 or 4 people and then the next week they're fine with them. And no, I'm sorry. I just can't. And I think it's disrespectful in a way. I've never asked someone else to do it. And like I said before I ever even mentioned it on here tonight, I asked someone who I thought, you know, I want to kind of model my page after. I think having a wrench is the sign of respect. It's not always ooh, I'm a badass. You know, it's a sign of respect, saying you're safe here. No one else is gonna block you or boot you out of here. And you're loyal. You've been in here several times. I know who you are. And to me, when someone gives me a wrench, that's what I see it as. I don't see it as a power move at all. I see it as someone who's like, wow, you really have been loyal to me. You've been kind. You've spoke highly of me. You're always here. Here's a wrench. I actually kind of get my feelings hurt sometimes when I see a lot of other people getting them and I don't, when I've been there all the time. But I've learned to just not give a fuck, because they think wrenches are different. Most creators see them as power, and I see them as loyalty. That's just me, because I'm not going to block or hurt anybody unless they tell me to. And just the same as I'm not going to bust up in there and tell them what to do. I don't know. I think it's a sign of loyalty, and that's I mean, end of it. Like, I think if you've been around and you keep coming back and you bring people with you and you share their link out and all that stuff, you're a member like of their family in a way. And if you get a wrench, that's what it's about, loyalty. So I don't know. I see a lot of, double standards somewhere when it comes to wrenches and stuff like that. I just don't exactly. It's about trust. And um, here, I'm gonna, like I said, check it out. Go to Campfire Karaoke. She does her Bible study on Wednesday night, but she's on Friday night doing her karaoke. And then Sunday, she does karaoke roulette, where they spin a wheel and it comes up like 80s music, and you have to pick an 80s song, or it'll have a specific artist like freaking Kenny Rogers, and you have whatever comes up on the wheel, you have to sing. So it's kind of like a game. But every single person that's a regular has a wrench. So pretty much everyone, because it's pretty much the same people all the time. And if she's seen you come through, she gives you a wrench. So no one's gonna, mess with you, and you can share each other's links. And I don't know. I like the way it works. I don't see any trouble in there hardly ever, ever. So that's the way I'm going to do it. And if someone comes in with a laundry list of people they want me to block or else, that's not happening. I've thought about it. I've slept on it. I don't know. But one person, like I said, that's fine, especially if I've seen things myself, but not beyond that. Yeah, I talk to you outside of here, and I, you know, I 100% trust you, and I can always go to Messenger and say, "Hey, this is a real problem. Don't mind at all if you want to use that wrench and kick the fuck out of them." I know Tashi used to love doing it. Like, "Hey, Tashi, boot them, get rid of them." But I have a way to ask you to do that. Otherwise, I mean, y'all saw Lionel came through. I only saw one comment, and we told him happy birthday, right? Kraken, he talks back and forth. He's probably still on here. We talk about music. He's never been disrespectful at all. So some of these guys that, I guess people have a problem with or whatever on other channels, like, I've never had a problem at all. I don't know. Someone might come in here and not like Tashi. Well, you know what? Fuck you, because Tashi's staying in here. So whatever. I have my little corner over here where I've been quite happy. And I don't know. Like I said, I've got to find the discipline or whatever to get back on the Nirvana thing, like I told Kraken I would. And there's a lot of people. There's a Brian guy that used to always come when he would see that I had labeled it or titled it that, because he really wants to see, the end. And I mean, y'all all do. We started it. I want to finish it. Again, I hope my co-host would come back to finish it with me, but if he doesn't want to for whatever reason, then I got to deal with that. And try not to take it to heart. But all of you guys, I do trust you. I very much trust you. And I don't know if y'all agree with what I'm saying, but if y'all have ever seen a page run that way, a smaller, page, I think it works just fine. I really do. And I feel safe over there, comfortable. I just don't ever see trouble like I do on a lot of other pages. And if you'll ever notice, the pages like that, you do have those people come back, repeat. Like, you have that same little core group of people, and they're happy and they're okay and they're good and whatever. Like, you just don't see a lot of problems. And if you don't do it that way, you can bust up in that person's channel that used to have a ton of people on it, and they don't. It's random people you've never seen or heard of before. They're literally just like, sub me up. I need it. And I don't care. I mean, I would love to have more subscribers, but at what cost, I'd rather have a few people that I trust or that are return people that come in here, I don't know. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but I want to do it different here, and that's just the way I want to do it. And if someone, chooses to not like it or whatever, then, like someone told me one time, go make your own page. I actually already had one sitting there for years. I think it's been on here for like 8 years or something, maybe more. I just hadn't done much with it since the tarot stuff. So I'm glad you love it here, Katie. And I can't tell if Kraken put a nice face or not because like emojis look weird on my thing. Okay, Katie. I'm glad you said it. I can't say it because I never noticed how many times I said it until I watched the last, what's it called? The last, I'm wanting to say episode, but y'all know what I mean. The last live. I'm surprised that Tashi didn't say, shut the fuck up, Amy. Because I said it constantly. Because I do miss him. He knows that. I don't know where the hell he's at. But he'll stay gone probably for a while and then pop back up out of nowhere. But, oh, it's a hug. Good. Well, I'll hug you back, Kraken. You heard me the other night take up for you. You've never said anything out of order here. If you have, I totally missed it. You've been very, very kind, very eloquent. And like I said, your comments, and then you're knowledgeable about music, suggestions, things like that. Apparently you know a lot about, geography and have things in common with Kylie and Tashi, all of them. So I think, I don't have a problem at all. I don't get I need to, this week, I'm mad at this person and this person, get rid of them, or I don't feel comfortable. Like, no, unless they say something shitty to me or I see them saying something to another person in here, I don't have an issue. So you're welcome in here. But yeah, Katie, I'm with you. I just can't, I'm trying not to say it as often. I think he's one of those hard to get people to. So the more you say it, the least likely he is to come back around. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know. Y'all do. Yes, Kraken, you absolutely do. If he is, there's a possibility he is, but whatever he is, it's the nicer side of him. And I've never had an issue with him ever. And that night I asked, like, what's the issue? There was only one statement, and I think he made it a long ass time ago, because after that, all I've seen is like really nice, things. I want to, us to do this one day. I want to buy you this, like very nice things. So, I'm guessing you apologized for whatever it was you said, and y'all seem to be okay. You were in the chat, so. But yeah, I always get bummed out about it, but then I have to just tell myself, it's interesting because I knew someone else in my life who kind of said, like, I can't promise I'm going to always be there. Can't promise. Like, I don't really put a bunch of expectations on me because I have a lot going on. And my mind hears that, but I don't know. I don't know what the word is, absorb that. I don't know. And I was like, well, they're just saying that, but they'll be back, And they did. And they did. And then they did. And then I kind of got used to that. And then they weren't around anymore. And, it kind of made me like sad or wondering like what I did wrong, or I don't know. So I've got to fix my head. I've got to fix my head. Y'all will see. Like I said, I feel like I need to do that video for everyone's sake. Not that that's going to like fix everything in the world, but it'll help people understand like why I am the way I am. Maybe. I don't know. Well, I think sometimes you have to wait and get to know them, and um, you kind of just sometimes, like I said, you take other people's, word for it. If he came in under that name, yes, he would probably be blocked already. But whatever this side of you is, if you are Mission, um, you haven't caused any issues in here. Yes. Goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to think. There's another one called Gone Girl. Goodbye, girl. Okay. I won't forget. And y'all do what you have to do. Like I said, as far as personal blocking, do whatever you have to do. If you say, hey, take my wrench for a minute, let me do this, no problem. Hang on. Yeah, I think they thought you were Mission, and I don't get that vibe. I mean, the only reason I can see a connection is that you're friends with Lionel. But other than that, you have been, which I never got close to Mission, so I don't know a lot about him at all. But I never got the same vibe or feeling that I get from you at all. But again, I didn't get to know him very well. It was just, first impression, maybe. I actually think we talked a little bit in chat a long ass time ago about where he lived. Like, just we were talking about the beautiful like landscape and the affordability of where he lived. Like, just bullshit in the chat. Y'all know how people do. Like, I never had a bad experience, but because I had seen some bad things, I get that. But just not every other person that associates with him, not everyone in the world. No. And you've not been out of line at all over here. Oh, no, I haven't seen it. See, I never go to his channel, ever. But that's interesting. I mean, you would have to be pretending to be mad at yourself, which would make me concerned for you. I hate to say it. Let me split off and make another person and get mad at myself and get the page built up, with some anger and trolling. Yeah, Katie, usually 9 times out of 10, your gut's right. And when you second guess,
It's almost midnight.
is it? Oh shit, my kid just told me it's almost midnight, y'all. So I think I'm going to go instead of staying on here for a really long time and then not sleeping and like whatever. Because didn't connect up any songs to sing or anything. Um, and I am going to do that video at some point. I just feel like I need to. And some people may leave after they see it and they're like, damn, she's a whole mess. And then some people might be like, oh, okay, well, I like her anyway, but that explains that. It's just a lot. And it's not anything I don't know. I thought about it. It's not a live situation. It's more of a video, trigger warning video if you want to watch it. I'm going to put, this is the deep, deep end of the ocean. Bring your what are they called? Water wings, your floaties, your arm floaties. If you can't handle it, because there's some very deep stuff in there. Some stuff not everybody even wants to go, to listen to. And I totally understand. I'm going to go look for that post, Kraken. Yeah, stay safe, Katie. I know you are. I know you got all types of precautions taken in place now. Katie said good night over the curtain. Good night. And Tashi, I think she's working on some stuff, but hope you have a good night. And Kylie. And somebody else I'm missing. Oh, Rapper, you came in here. You were a sweetheart. Lionel, happy birthday.
It's his birthday?
Mm-hmm. It's his 40th birthday.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's not really, but I don't know how old he is, so I'm just go with that.
He's not 40?
No, he's a little bit older than that, I think, but I'm just gonna go with that.
I don't know. I don't remember.
And then I don't know if I missed somebody, but if I did, I'm sorry. And I will. I don't know when because I keep feeling like just getting on here and just talking, but I do definitely need to get back and at least finish it so we can conclude was there a conspiracy or they tied together or whatever. And I hope my co-host comes back and can help me with that because he helps me stay on track with that. Not gonna lie, I'm good at the more passionate talking about the good stuff, and I want to get to all these stories I'm alluding to. I kind of shared a little bit of one of them with Katie, just somebody I met and a little bit of a story. I didn't get into it too deep, but she knows one of them now on the list. But anyway, hope all you guys have a good night, and I'll try to pop back on here in the next day or so. And I'll definitely be putting a video or so up because I love to sing. It makes me feel better. And it seems to be smoother with me putting it up as a video until we can figure out something better. And then I can come on here all the time and sing for y'all and make fools of myself and all of that. Oh, you're welcome, Kraken. I hope you have a good day. I think where you're at. Aw, sweet dreams to all of you guys. It's only showing one, but I know there's more than one here, and and very very happy that y'all came by and share it out. I know it's kind of like, well, this was just some random rambling, but just tell people, hey, link it up. This girl does occasionally talk about some fun stuff. It's not always just whatever. And I wasn't too far from 250. It was like 231, I believe, something like that. So that would be great. 2 months is coming up since I really started doing it. This week it'll be 2 months. So yeah, getting that 250 would be great. Um, my I looked to see when 1 month was because I put a nice little sweet happy anniversary to my co-host. It was like a 3 week, so I know that whatever month, not month, that 2 months is coming up soon because at that point it was a month and then now a month and 3 weeks, so we're about 2 months. Anyway, I can keep rambling. 2 months is coming up, so yeah, reaching 250 would be awesome. I'm going to be sharing your link out, Katie. We're going to get you built up, and just like everybody, have a good night. And y'all can, some of you guys that I talk to, y'all can call me, message me, or whatever. I'm not going to sleep right now. I've just told my kids, like, after like 3 hours, get me off of here because I don't ever know how to shut up. And then after about 9 hours, I've been like looking over the computer. Like I said, I need a magnifying thing, and my back hurts, my throat hurts. Like I'm getting old, y'all. So I'm just going to do it in small increments instead of staying on like long. I think maybe five needs to be my max. But that 20-hour one, Jesus, I don't even know why I did that. But I love most of you guys that I know well enough to say, and the other ones, I'm glad you came by. It's good to see you, and thank you for being kind and nice on my page. And as long as you are, you're not going to be blocked. That person, if they have an issue with you, can personally block you because I've not seen anything. Until I do, you're here. You're happy. I'm happy. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time.
I don't know, I think it's gonna work.